here, that man right
Hey,
here,
yo.
that's my brother, Walter, the illustrious Walter Coulter, who is a financial guru. I promise you, there's not a whole lot this man does not know. If you guys have some financial questions, please feel free to ask. He has been in financial planning or financial advisor for well over 25 years. He has worked with a whole host of celebrities, athletes, you name it, and he still does. Not to, well, I'll let you tell all that other stuff, but he has done it all. And so the Donovan and I, we consider this a real pleasure to have someone with such knowledge on. And so I beseech thee. I don't even know if that's the right word. If you have some questions you won't answer, because you guys ask us a lot of financial questions all the time, please ask them right now. And so, I'm going to go back to you. Again, his name is Walter. You guys want to call in, 951-489-7157. You guys have any questions, please call in. So, I'm going to go back to your question. And, Walter, you want to say hello?
Hey, what's happening, y'all?
Okay, and so, okay, all right. So, says, why do we pay taxes? There is no law. Taxes were used to finance the Civil War and continued.
Once the government's in your pocket, it's hard to get them out.
So let me answer that question about the taxes. What I like to focus on are things we can actually change and we can affect. Taxes are not going anywhere unless you like prison and jail time. So, in my opinion, not to be harsh, I would just push that to the side. Taxes are not going away. Now, they will go away if you move to, like, if you create your own island. Some people will do things, they'll disappear. Or you can just run from the tax code, but you're going to pay tax. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, there's some things you can do to reduce your tax. We could talk about that. Having your own business. So, for instance, I have my own business. When I want to leave the country, be it, India, Egypt, Indonesia, because I have my own business, I can deduct certain, I can deduct things like that on my taxes. If I go out to dinner with my business partners, I can deduct that. So, there's some things you can do to reduce your taxes. But as far as avoiding them, like that's not going to happen. And to be honest, we need to pay for some of the services. People say, well, there's a lot of things we need, but you have to really think about it. Like I was watching the thing this morning, and the guy was like, we want Medicare, we want Medicaid, we want all these things, but no one wants to pay taxes. So, somebody's got to pay for these things, and unfortunately, or depending on how you look at it, it's us. I don't have a problem paying taxes. If my neighbor house is burned down, I want to make sure that they put it out before it gets to me. So taxes are necessary. Now, there's things, again, you can do to avoid taxes, legally. But as far as altogether, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I would put your energy on something else, like maybe building your wealth.
Okay. All right. And so, hey, Gina. Okay. And then, he says, by law, we are in a republic.
Is that kick the bucket head down?
Yes.
I was walking down the street singing that the other day. We got to talk, Gina. We got a record coming out.
And says, by law, we are a Republican form of government. There is no democracy. The government is tailored for the minority, which is not us. Trump will win again because he is for the big corporations, the elite.
Of course, his people.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Talking about Trump, why don't we see? First of all, Trump is not going anywhere. And I hate to break it to you, but he's going to be president again in 2020. Mm-hmm. Like, we can quit pipe dreaming. Here's the problem. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no power. You can protest, you can march, but you know how you... And again, I'm not the... I don't really get into all the... I don't understand...
He's the polar opposite of me.
Yeah, I don't understand all the race stuff. I got white kids, Puerto Rican kids. I got kids from all, all over the world. I don't mean like I laid my seed. I mean, I have kids that, are just... from different parts of the world. But one thing I know, when I travel, the people with money rule. I don't care, like, if you look, I hate to keep bringing up this dude, but OJ, right? I'm not saying he did it, and there's a good chance he didn't, there's a chance he did. I wasn't there, right? So, but OJ has money. If he was a broke Negro, and so-called Negro, I don't like the term, but just, to use that, he would be in jail, period. Right. Where's the lesson? Cash. OJ has money. Right? And Jay-Z stabbed his record label exec. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they feel like you got to do that. Jay-Z has money. He is not in jail. R. Kelly has money. He is not in jail. I can go on and on and on. Right? So sometimes maybe we should just worry about the money.
All
That's
right.
kind of important. I mean, the Bible, I'm not religious, but talks about money more than any other subject.
Okay.
Somehow people go to church, they get dressed, but they don't focus on the thing they hear about the most.
Mm.
All right. And so Gina says, hey, bro, how are you? Has that been you all the time? No, that's actually Donovan. Walter's just a guest today, but Donovan is usually sitting next to
I'm
me.
better looking.
Yeah, he's better looking one.
I'm not wearing a Dodger shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of us ain't retired. I ain't got it like that yet.
And Gina also says, tell him just not laugh that laugh. Have me laugh and miss you, bro.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the laugh is contagious. I gotta say.
Al,
Oh,
I
shit.
was at the bank. Walter says, oh shit. I was at the bank and this old lady asked me to help check her balance, so I pushed her down. You know what? And O says, if I don't contract, I don't pay taxes. Okay.
Mm.
And then Gina says, can you do her taxes?
Actually, to answer your question, one of my buddy does taxes. The thing about working with a financial advisor is we play quarterback, right? So I'll look at your stuff, and then I'll get with your tax person. I'll get with your health insurance person. I'll get with your auto insurance person. I'll get with your estate planning. I get with everybody, and we make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes to paying taxes, again, people just pay too much. They leave deductions on the table. Like, you can, and again, Donald Trump changed well, it wasn't just him. It was a bunch of people. Changed the tax code so to give you a bigger standard deduction. Here's what that means. If you're single and, you could, your standard deduction is somewhere in there 17, 18 grand. What that means is you get a standard deduction across the board, black, white, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. So if you make $30,000 a year, they take 17 away. That means you're at 13,000, which means your tax bracket is next to zero.
Mm.
If you make 50,000, you make 30. You're at 33. You get the point? Or so you can take a standard deduction, or you can itemize. So if like me, I'm out of the country on a regular basis, right? They call me Where's Wally. There's other things you can do besides get stuff in the IE. It's just a horrible place, right?
Well, you
So-
talking about IE because we in Riverside, California.
I'm talking about the IE. It just there's other places you can go. So when I go out to dinner, when I travel, I have different businesses. I just write off things legally. And one thing that I'm calling it the Trump tax cuts, because when healthcare changed, we call it Obamacare, to be fair, right? A lot of us got tax deductions, and I hear people say, "Oh, the corporations got tax breaks." Hey, you remember Fred Sanford?
Yeah.
He used to
Don't
say,
don't
You
get
big
and Donovan started on Don Sanford's son. Don't get these two started.
You can learn a lot from a comedian. He used to say, "You big dummy." Like, if you have to have a corporation to get into heaven, guess what you should do? Start a corporation. It's $800 a year. Now there's some things that go into it. It's a little drama, but let me tell you what. And I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. Having your own corporation gives you all kinds of things. First of all, you can deduct more things. You get certain protection. Those of you who have personal issues, you know what I'm saying, like child support and whatever, anything you're going to having a corporation, if it's done right, separates you from all that stuff. That's why rich people have corporations, right? Because they can get in personal trouble, but keep their stuff in a corporation. Plus, you get a lot of the deductions having your own business. I mean, you can have cars, you can have your homes, all that stuff can be in the company. It's totally legal. So sometimes we just have to say, you know what? We're just going to roll with the system and stop, like, bucking it. Because they're not going to change it, right? And black people, and I know this is sort of a black show, right? Have very few rights in this country. And so if you think they're going to change the tax code for you, it ain't happening.
All right.
I hate to say it, it's true,
Okay.
though.
So, and continue asking questions. Samuel says, is there some software that can help a person become educated and keep up with all those business deductions?
Yes, it's called TurboTax, but let me back up because they're not paying me. You could go to www.cornucopa.com, cornucopa.com, www.cornucopa.com. Go on there, you can subscribe, and you can email us, you can call us, and we can point you in the right direction.
All right. And so O says, I agree with you. Trump will be elected, and we need to focus on building wealth. And hello, everybody, Hani and Amanda.
Hani.
And O says, can you tax person show me how to file as a creditor instead of a debtor?
Gotta have some credit.
So we're getting a lot of tax questions, which is good. But you know what I like to focus on? I like to focus on making money and having more of it. You see what I'm saying? Because the tax code is there, right? The tax code, there's certain rules you can follow. Now, as far as I think the question was more being a creditor.
So he says, can you tax person show me how to file as a creditor instead of a debtor?
As a creditor, well, that I've never heard of. So I'm gonna say I don't have the answer to that. But if you go to my website, www.cornercorner.com, me or my son Miles, we can help you with that answer. I don't have the answer now, but I'll go get it.
All right. Hey, Tony. And Al says, I went to a school in the... Oh, God.
Okay.
Can
we skip the jokes?
I went to a school... Al, Walter a little bit on the serious side. I went to a school in the ghetto, and math class, the teacher asked if Johnny had $10 and Tasha had $5. How much do they have totally? I said, Rob, dumb. Marcus says, so how does this work against child support?
Okay.
Important question, brothers. Listen up.
Okay, let me tell you. So my name is Walter Coulter, I don't have an MBA. Actually, I do. I used to say it's my black ass. But I have an AGTI also going through it, right? I have 6 kids, and, you've been married and divorced. You go through that. First of all, you should pay your child support, right? Negotiate, fight. You got to do that, right? Fighting with the mama, and I get it. We go through things, but you got to deal with that. So I'm not going to answer the question like, how can you avoid paying child support? I think you should just get a second job. But to answer the question, having a corporation and keeping your money in a corporation that's done right, child support lawsuits, the IRS, they for the most part don't mess with that because a corporation is not you. So it's separate. So if you have child support issues or you're fighting with the mom or the dad or whoever it is, because I get a child support check every 2 weeks. Right? Hey, listen, I wait for that check. It's crazy. So when I say that, people get all sad face and what was that face you made?
That's one for the good guys.
I get my check. I raised my 3 kids. Anyways, I'm just saying, I waited 25 years for that check. It's coming, right? So I just waited for it to get a job. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But on the flip side, you could have a corporation and you can keep money over there. Like we hear about Trump and some of these guys that that Kanye fell into bankruptcy, which he didn't fall into bankruptcy. His company did. He did it the right way, right? If you're gonna take a risk, do it in the company's name, right? So I hope that the answer is yes, it can help.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Another good example would be like when OJ, even though he's getting $25,000 a month from the NFL, the Goldmans can't get that money because it's protected in the NFL.
So first of all, OJ's money is in a pension plan.
Right. Okay.
So a pension plan, 401k, pension plan, those plans are protected by what's called ERISA, right? So it's an insurance, basically, it's a protection act, it's a retirement act, Employee Retirement Act, I don't know the full security acts. Basically, the money in there is untouchable, period. You need a divorce decree or something like that to be able to get to that money, right? So OJ, the NFL, thank God, the NFL, the NBA, some of these guys will put money, your companies will put money into a pension plan for you. You can contribute, and that money is untouchable.
Oh, got it.
And then what happens is they have a strategy, it's called annuitize. Like you've heard of terms like annuities. Like if you win the lottery, you don't get the money, they give it to you over 20 years, which means they're giving you the interest, you're not getting the principal. They annuitize it. Once they annuitize it, the money disappears and it's locked up. So they can't sue for something that's not there.
Got it.
Right? And it's a retirement income. Like you've seen the commercial, J.G. Gentworth, I want cash now. They'll buy your annuity out. But once that money's locked up, it's a wrap. That's why OJ's still playing golf.
All right. And Al says, Donovan, do you see the episode on Sanford and Son when Grady got 2 Social Security checks? Will you explain what should people do when they get their checks?
Cash them.
Cash them.
All right, and Honey puts up he says hello.
Yep.
And he says, there are 21 multinational corporations that own every federal, state, and municipal bond in the United States. And as the holder of the largest collateral on earth, they loan and provide capital to everyone in the USA.
Okay, so I'm glad we're kind of moving to that more to the positive. First of all, you guys, there's opportunity out there. Like the government has certain rules they have to follow. I know, as being an African American in this country, we don't have all the rights, and I get it. And we're never going to. Matter of fact, it is getting worse if you haven't noticed. Right? So there are things out there the government will provide. You just have to go get it. I tell people, take a break, slow down, turn off the TV, do what you need to do, read up on it. Like, what if it took you a week of doing nothing but learning up on these rules, but for the rest of your life you're doing better off? It always kills me, and that's a great question, by the way. But, like, it kills me when people say, well, I don't understand this. Stop and understand it. Like, well, let me back up a little bit. We need to take a little more responsibility for the things that we do, right? Like, money is so powerful, right? Like, people will, like, today's Sunday, right? It's still Sunday, right?
All day.
All day. I'm used to being out of the country, so it's Sunday here in America. People tomorrow morning, first of all, people tonight are treating their spouses like shit based over money.
Yes.
They treat their kids like shit over money.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday is that day before some people commit suicide, right? So it's Sunday, and you know, Friday night it's like Friday. Saturday it's kind of cool. Sunday you wake up, ooh, it's nice, NFL. But then Sunday afternoon, evening, you get that, oh shit, I gotta go back to work.
Time to pay the piper.
Pay the paper. So you leave your spouse in a warm bed next to the coconut oil and go chase the money.
Yes.
That makes zero sense to me. So why not just focus on the money?
All right. And then so Sammy says pin his website, please. So when I go back on, I will pin his website. Okay. And so he says, are you familiar with fractionalized banking?
I am. Yes. As a matter of fact, I've been studying this all week. So here's how fractionalized lending works. And you can be the bank, or you can be the other person. What I'm trying to do, quote the capital, I'm trying to be the bank, because you put money into a bank, right? So they give you $1. First of all, let me back up. You ever go to the bank and ask for 10 grand? Tomorrow, I'm going to your bank and asking for 10 grand. You know, I need 10 grand. I'm gonna go sit in the lobby and watch the lady's face go, we ain't got it.
Well, from mine, they say, yeah, here, Mr. Sadiq.
Yeah, we got David Federal. Like, that's different. I'm talking about B of A, Wells Fargo.
Right.
If you go into the bank, you have to order that money. The money's not sitting in the bank.
Right.
Because when you put $1 in the bank, they then can loan that money out a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put $1 in the bank, they may have $9 loaned out against that $1.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's say you give me $1. I'm Culture Capital, right? Damn, that feels good. So I take $1 from you and I loan out $9. What are those 9 people gonna do? Pay me, aren't they? They're gonna pay me an interest rate. That's income. You know what that income becomes on my books? An asset. And you know what I can do again with that asset? Loan it out again. And that's what they keep doing. On the same dollar, they loan it out a bunch of times. That's why when things get rough, the banks are the first ones to go. Since 2008, we've lost over 500 banks.
Okay.
So that's fractional lending for you.
All right,
that's
now.
my topic. Hit me later.
Brian says, will this be on the tube so I can check it out later? Yes, sir, bestie. It will be there. Yes, Brian, that is my brother. That's my older brother.
I'm 2 years older. I was born in December of '69. She was born in April of '71.
Watch out now. I've been telling these people I'm 28.
5 months older.
I've been telling these people I'm 28. You over here blowing my cover. So yes, it will be on that. Al says, if you hit the lotto, what happens to be the man? I have to rewrite that because it's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
Al.
let's move to that.
Okay, but a question on the lotto: if somebody hits the lotto, is it best to take the lump sum or the overall payments?
It depends.
Oh, okay. I guess I get what he's saying now. He says if you hit the lotto, what happens to the child support? So, I mean, does child support come in?
Yeah, they get their money first.
Okay.
I know what he's going to say, but go ahead.
Let me answer this question. The answer is yes. And 2, can we as people of the trying to do better, like if you have kids, you need to support their ass, period. Sometimes you hate the mom. You just, like, because so many people struggle over child support. What about my child support? Either it's your kid or it's not, right?
Right.
The mama can smoke the money. A lot of times they do, but that's not. We don't have control.
Yeah,
over
exactly. You shouldn't be worried about that.
You know, it just is what it is. So what we need to do, and the reason I'm on here, is to elevate the conversation, right? I want to talk about building wealth. You know, things like that. I'm not. The child support is whatever. I got 6 kids. Trust me and child support, we talk once a month. I get a check once a month.
Right.
Actually, I get a check twice a month.
Right. In 2 weeks.
It's complicated, y'all.
Every 2 weeks, and then I pay once a month. I should just have them send the check to.
Okay, well,
That's right, my bad.
so we have another child support question. It says, well, I've been paying child support on a child for the last 13 years, and this mother has never agreed to any type of custody whatsoever. Are any type of sit-downs to an attorney to discuss. Let's see. To discuss some type of visitation, but Miss wants child support payment, and she will travel the world to find out why.
First of all, because I want to get over the child support
Yeah.
questions. Child support has nothing to do with visitation.
Mhm.
You can be broke as hell, bus pass, living in the back of a Datsun B210. It has zero to, okay, you may have trouble getting your kids on the weekends in the Datsun,
Yeah, right.
but it has nothing to do with child support. There are two
Different issues.
separate issues. So you talk to your mediator. Right now I'm giving legal advice, Lord have mercy. But I've been through this. I'm AGTI also going through it. You go to your mediator. Those two have nothing to do with each other. I want to see my kids. I want to have them, period.
And you have a legal right to see your kids.
Absolutely. Money. Now, based on your visitation, your child support will be based on that.
Right.
So if you get your kids 10% of the time, then your child support will be higher because they're with her,
Most
or
of the time.
in my case, they're with him more. You understand what I'm saying? So I gotta represent, right? Because
Yes.
some of us do actually raise our own kids, right?
Right.
So yeah, the child support questions, you can hit me directly with that because I have dealt with that. But let's build some wealth.
All right, well, maybe we're going to get to those questions. Because, child support it's huge in everybody's community, but, it's the stuff we deal with.
Child
it's
support
a
is
Black woman
huge.
club.
Black support is huge in all communities. White, black.
Can't reach you.
First of all, and to be honestly, I think that when it comes to child support, black women tend to be nicer on
What?
the child support front. Let me
Yeah.
just tell you.
What?
He blew your spot up.
Donovan, no.
He's right.
First of all, here's the problem with black women. And I don't mean a problem, I mean it's a good thing.
Thank you.
But what I mean is, here's the issue. And this is why I'm a Republican. So you can send me the hate mail now. Is black women have been raising men and kids the whole time on themselves. Like my father was around, he's still around, hallelujah. I'm glad for that. But that's rare, right? Black women have been raising kids on their own. I know it was a whole, the civil rights movement was designed to get the black man out of the house. I get it. So they tend to be nicer when it comes to child support. I have some friends who are married to African American women, and they're women just like, I just got this on my own. I'm like, girl, you need to call them. You need to call Tyrone. In the court, they open at 8. Right? So,
All right.
Hello.
And so O wants to know why you're talking about OJ. So probably I'm assuming white OJ comes up a lot.
So O.J. Simpson had a financial planner. O.J. Simpson got financial advice. Here's the thing. If you don't have a financial advisor, you are risking it. You are riding dirty. Period. Let me explain something to you. Like can I plug myself real quick?
Yeah.
All right, because if I get rich, she going to be traveling too. So I have a membership. I charge $49 a month. Period. You can call me for financial questions, nutrition, health. I don't care what it is. We do life enhancement. And I said this to somebody, hey, it's $49 a month. You can call me and I can get you moving. She goes, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I said, let me see your nails. She goes, I said, you got your nails done. How much is that?
$79.
70, 80 bucks. I said, get your ass out of my office. Like, if you have your hair done, your nails done, if you're making a car payment and you don't have a financial advisor or a coach, you dumb as hell. That's like Medea dumb as hell.
Living in an apartment.
Live it like, yeah, I'm a chill on that because I don't want to get too rowdy.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. Like, money is everything. When I spoke at when I was at New Jay, right, me and my sister used to go to a church, right, and I went to do a seminar at the church, and I was like, money and everything, and the pastor was like, don't come up here telling that lie. Ecclesiastes 10:19 says, money control all things. Matter of fact, one of my emails is Preacher 10:19. Money controls all things. So why not deal with it? Every move you make should be about money. Not that you have to it has to control you, but like, how about you take off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and take your kids on a trip? You know what I'm saying? That has to do with money. Money is everything. Why not spend more time dealing with it? You should get advice. I don't care. As long as it's somebody that can connect with you.
All right. And so, Al, to answer your question about the second job, can child support be taken from that? Yes, it can.
Okay, Al got child support trauma. I see.
No, actually, no, Al has no doubt. He's talking about his coworker. He has
Okay,
no
so
child support.
Al, I want to hear the questions about you personally. Because child support can take money from anything. I don't care if you're one of those Jamaican, remember that in Living Color? If you have 6 things, they can take 6 times.
Yeah.
Child support is like the IRS. They are They don't
Yeah.
they don't mess around. They could take the money.
And
They
O
could-
says to answer the question, brother's question about child support, once you submit it to jurisdiction, there's nothing you can do. Educate yourself on laws and civics. Okay?
Mhm.
And Arson, he says, well, I hope my comment won't be hated, but seems to me like our guest isn't looking at the life through the lens of Demetra, probably pro-black mentality. And I think it's very good in this context because, let's see. In this context, because we have an opportunity to learn about making money, which is really, in the end, what Demetra and Donovan have kind of been telling us to do for months. Now, if we really want to have a voice and power, so thank you for hitting us with the reality for my question. What advice would you give to those of us who have a whole lot of debts and very little savings, or for the rest, the best idea to make money grow?
Okay, now this is why I came over. This is why I drove way over here. So first of all, if you have debt, write all your debt down. Number one, write your balance down, and then look at what you're paying. Number one, and then I wanted you to look at what you're saving. Now, when it comes to like what I did is I started cooking for myself. You see my cooking show, Hot in Here, right? I started making my own food. During the week, I eat romaine lettuce, pomegranate, and avocado for all day till I fall asleep. Period. But I'm trying to lose some weight too, but that's cheap. It's cheap. You can eat for like $3-4 a day, right?
Absolutely.
So that my food bill, I don't eat out as much. You realize when you go out to a restaurant and you eat, let's say the bill is $100. Not only do you have to pay the $100, you have to pay tax and tip. So there's another 25%, right? You have 15% tip, and then what 8 to 10% tax. So if you spend 100, you're at 125. That makes 0 cents. So what I like to do, and you know, Donovan's been in my house for dinner. I mean, period. I cook a lot because I can make dinner for 12 people for $40 with drinks. And we like Jesus.
Water into wine.
We do it because, so not only do I get to spend more time with my kids and my family, I'm saving money. Right? Here's the other thing. I don't have car payments. If you have a car payment, take that car, park it in a lot, and give it back. So okay, there's a song, Marvin Gaye, not Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass. How does the song go?
Which one?
Let It Go.
Oh, I think I better let it go. TKO.
I like that Medea movie with the family show. She's like, I got a message from the Lord, here it come. Let it go. Right? Keisha Cole, one of my favorite singers. Let it go. You know what a corporation does when they get in trouble? Let it go.
Cutting employees.
I can build your credit in 6 to 12 months. Here's what I told the client. She had credit cards, car payments. She's paying like $1,000 a month. I said, how much are you saving? I can't afford to save. I said, first of all, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Here's how rich people think. I can't afford to have debt because I save. Poor people go, I can't save because I have debt. I have expenses. No, you don't. Like, if you come to my house, and I sent you guys the video, right? I got 2 rooms in my house. I Airbnb them. I've had 300 people stay in my house in 2 years. Pays for my house. I got solar panels, and I don't have car payments, and I grocery shop. So my expenses are very little. I'm not loaning out any money. That's another thing. I don't loan out money to people. So what I do is I take, instead of eating out car payments, I use that money to travel so I can see the world from a different place. So here's what I would say, like car payments. Now you have a small car payment, okay. But if your car payment is 10% of your monthly income, you are screwing yourself. Period. If you make $5,000 a month and your car payment is $500, you need to back it up into the spot you bought it from and walk away. And that's gonna kill your credit. And I'm telling people, if you're gonna walk and get advice too, because I'm giving you the overall picture. But Bank of America, Visa, Discover, if you give them that credit card back, they're gonna pay their bills and their private jet is still gonna be wheels up. So what do? Like you can, like for instance, you can go and they're not paying me either, but they're about to. You can Google secure credit cards. You can take $49 bucks, go to Capital One, give them $49 bucks, they'll give you a $200 credit line. I don't care how bad your credit is. Citibank, Orchard Bank, First Premier, you can give them money. Here's what I did with Kanye West. We went to I'm not going to talk about how much it was. We went into his bank, and he used to joke about his credit score and, you know, all that stuff. And all of his songs in the beginning were like, I ain't got it. So we went into a bank, and we gave them cash. And I said to this bank, we're going to borrow money against his
that.
own money.
Mhm.
So they gave us a line of credit. We put it on his credit. Now it looks like a bank is giving him this big old loan.
Mhm.
Then I use that same fractional lending. I use that same bank statement, took it to American Express, and got him a black card. And from there, we bought his house, everything. From that one move at the bank, we used that a bunch of times.
His own money.
His own money. Like if you have $10,000 in the bank getting 1%, and you got a credit card paying 12, you're paying 11% on your own stuff. That's just idiotic. And I like to get to the point. I'm past the point of festivity. I think it was, used to say that.
Bernie Mac.
It was Bernie Mac. Rest in peace. Right. So you have to first of all take care of yourself. Like here's what I want you to think about, and I want you to feel like shit for a minute. Right, and I've been through debt. I've lost businesses. I've had family members mad at me. I think she called me Bernie Madoff once. It was a bad day.
It was a bad day.
I was whatever, right? Like you go through this stuff. Like first of all, if you haven't made any mistakes, you ain't playing. Just period, right? So like that's why I like to watch YouTube and some of these things. Like I sent everybody, my kids, a video yesterday of this dude who like slept in his car when he was 14.
Mhm.
He used to go to the neighborhood, grab you see, you know, you use furniture, like people throw their chairs on the street. He used to go and take those chairs and sell them at the swap meet. That's how he paid for his car.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, get it moving.
Okay, so Amanda says, why y'all got the same, the same laugh? We think the
I think we
same
got
mama
the
and
same
daddy.
parents. I know we got the same mama.
Oh, says, I know how fractionalized banking works. Banks have no money. They use your credit. True, and I'll move on here. And Al says, is it safe to say that people who can't handle and save money don't want to do it? Breeds contempt.
Okay, here's the thing, and I'm gonna move into the mental toughness, spiritual world for a second, right? You have to want it. See, that people don't want to do better. Like they joke about this. Like you can take a horse, you can't make him drink. You put a flea in a cage, you move the cage, you still won't jump. You let somebody out of jail and they stand there and look around, right? Some people you gotta want to do better. That means you have to do things to take better care of yourself, right? Be it walking, working out, get your hair, keep it moved, whatever. Take care of yourself. You gotta feel like you deserve it. Because, like, and that's this whole reparation thing. I'm waiting for reparations because I need mine. I know what I'm gonna do with mine. I'm gonna invest mine.
You're gonna take that check.
I'm gonna buy something, and that's gonna pay me a monthly check or a quarterly check, right? So I can stop wearing this jacket all the time. So I know I got long-winded on your
No,
question
that's
now.
okay. That's okay.
But you have to feel like you deserve it first, right? So you have to, treat yourself better. It's okay going out to eat and all that stuff, but don't get carried away. Be nice to yourself because you have to want the money. Because if you I don't care how mentally screwed up, how much money you have, if you're not up here and you don't feel good about yourself, that money is blown, all gone.
Awesome. And then our son says, either way, y'all both look young because we were talking about how much older you are than me. And then
I'm
Brian
like
says,
15 months older.
and Brian says, why do so many old child support? It's a vicious cycle. And that's what he was saying. We just need to, get ahead of that. And O says, you're speaking about building wealth. Then why can't I use my credit as the banks do?
Okay, first of all, you need to use your credit. Okay, let me say something to you. Now I'm gonna go a little gray. It's not gray. It's a fast way to building wealth. First of all, what the bank says, Fred Sanford, you big dummy, you're going to give me money at 1%. I'm going to give you 1% on your money, and we're going to loan it out 8 to 10 times at 12%. So you need to act like the banks. Like, you can loan out your money to people. Like, I was on the phone with my daughter today, right? She's finally starting to listen after 20-something years. And I said, you know what, I'll give you the money for your car. Just give me a small interest rate. Give me 2-3%, whatever. It don't matter. You see what I'm saying? But if I can get money at 1 or 2% and I can loan it out at 5%, that makes all day. My neighbor needs a car. Give me the pink slip. I'll loan it to you at 10%. I wish your brother would make a missing payment. Right? You should be doing that. I have somebody else. I was like, I don't know what to do with my money. I was like, give it to me. I'll give you 5%. Oh, she was 5%. That's good. Now I know I can get 50 on it.
Right.
I'll keep the 45. She asked me for 5. Everybody is happy.
Exactly.
All
So
right.
yeah.
But that goes back to my term of broaching. That's what we want to
God.
do.
And O says, please don't give legal advice. Yeah, the disclaimer, ain't none of us lawyers.
And I'm definitely not a lawyer, so
yeah,
like,
none of us.
No, that's called experience.
And
advice.
Tay, our dear good friend, says, I have a child support question. It just is what it is.
Lord have mercy.
I
What
love
is
you,
it?
Tay.
I have been banking my boys' child support since my divorce in 2010. One kid is 20 and the other one will be 15. Can I give them that money when they become adults, or could I invest it in the a fund for them?
Okay, the question is, should you give them the money?
No.
The answer is hell no. Hell to the no. What's that old dude you like? The old black dude.
Oh, hell to the
Hell
no,
to
no,
the
no, no.
Don't give them the money.
Matthew,
Yes.
that is Matthew.
Don't give them the money. Child support is for you to take care of them.
Of the
Sometimes
kids.
people are like, oh, it's not your kids' money.
It's not their money.
Your money.
Mhm.
Number one, and you should invest that money. Now, what type of fund? I mean, that's where it's good to call in or maybe contact us, because some people don't need to be in the stock market.
Mhm.
Some people need to have a little bit of money in cash, number one. Two, maybe use a little bit of that to build your credit. Three, you can look at hard assets. Like, people know, if you go to my Facebook page, I sell cars, right? I'm a financial planner. I do Airbnb. I do mortgages. I sell cars. My job is to build wealth.
Asset. Mhm.
So if I can go, and I'll just put it out there, I'm not embarrassed. I tell people all the time, if I go to the car auction and I can buy a car for $2,000 and then put it on Facebook and sell it for $4,
Four or five
whose
thousand.
fault is that?
Mhm.
At the dealership, it's $8. So the child support question is, you can do stuff like that with your money.
Mhm.
Let me wrap with this real quick, at least for this question. I was in Bali where you could live for like $2 a day. I saw something for like $2 that I know sells in America for 20.
Mhm.
So I'm like, looks like we putting this mall on this website.
Right.
All right. And Marcus, I got your question. You need to continue to go to court until you get what you want. Don't give up. That's a lot of times, a lot of fathers, they give up as far as fighting for custody of the child, because it is discouraging. But you just have to go and just keep on pleading to the court. I know that sucks, but
Let me
it's
answer
something
this
you have to
question.
do. Go ahead.
Go to my website. Actually, go to my website, www.cornucopa. Call me at my 800 number, and I can't give you legal advice, but I can walk you through what I did, because I went through it in the court system as a black man going through the court system, and I'm suited, and I got my stuff together. I had my files laid out. They were like, oh, hell no, get this Negro out of here.
Mhm.
They were not happy when I showed up. So I can tell you what I did to get my way, right? But it ain't easy, but hit me up.
And
It can
Al
be done.
says once he got managing conservatorship over his son, or sole custody, he never asked for child support. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm getting child support.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed.
Yes.
My
I'm
child
getting my
support
money.
is small, too.
Right.
I mean, it's only a few $100s a month.
It's
but
the principle.
let me give you an idea. Let's talk more about building wealth. See, if you can cut your expenses by $200 a month, or if you can get $200 a month, give you an idea. I'll just put it out there. My child support is not that big. I get like, my checks come to the house. I have another address, so I get like $200 a month. It's not a lot, right? But that is $2,400 a year. Do you realize, in order to get $2,400 on my money in the bank, I'd have to have $100,000 in the bank,
Right.
getting 2.4%. Where can you get 2.4%? When you find it, call me. So here's what makes me good about getting those checks, and I earned it too. Anyways, that's alcohol conversation.
Right.
I'd have to have $200,000 in the bank at today's CD rates to get $2,400 a year.
Right.
So when I see my kids' my baby mama, I'm like, I'm changing her name to 200 grand.
Right.
Right? That's how I
Exactly.
look at it. It's a business.
Mhm.
That's how they look at us when it
Right.
comes to child support.
Right.
All right. And
Yeah.
Brian says Navy Federal #1 got a $25,000 Amex card and waiting on this home loan. So that's what he's saying.
Mm.
Right? That's what you're saying. You got, and these comments are backed up too. So
Yeah,
I'm going to move
right.
along just a
Yeah.
tiny bit. And let's see. And Arson says black women tend to be nice, and he's quoting that man has just made a gigantic point here. Hey, Richard. And Hani says we need to end the welfare state and stop emboldening single mothers, single motherhood. That's why we have a caravan at our borders, free money on the backs of hard working Americans. Okay. And then Brian says, bro, we need to talk. I need that LLC set up. Okay, so
Okay. Get that number.
I'm going to pin that. Don't let me forget. And Al says, I've been on child support since 2006, and not once have my daughter's mom asked for one increase. It's understood with money that I make, it doesn't make me. That's right. And then and Nancy says, do something, D. And Nancy's our roving editor,
Yeah,
if you will.
a roving editor,
yes.
writing, and she lets us know how the video
And it,
works.
and Brian says create trade lines. Al says Walter needs to be on here front of Madison High and teach the moms or how to dress,
the dressing,
the financial
dress code.
financial and fashion wealth, so they won't pick up the kids and do rags in their hair
Right,
rollers.
right.
He says, hey Walt, I have a good friend that hates when people asking for money on paydays. And they also say Walter and Donovan are the modern day sweet daddy. Boy, you in trouble from
Yeah, good times.
Good times.
Yeah, Sweet Daddy Williams.
Next is promissory notes, real estate. I have money, just won't give it away. Took it. Just open a logistic company. Took it and you say you just opened a logistic company. Okay.
Yeah, that's Nancy. I know
Yes.
Nancy. I've actually sat down with Nancy, and I'm a financial planner to a good friend of hers.
Okay.
And Nancy was a friend of our mom's.
Our mom.
So
And Arson said, do you want to address some of those things?
I can. Let's go back a little
Okay.
bit. 'Cause somebody, a couple of people go. First of all, promissory notes work as long as you know the person. That's fine. So let's talk about trade lines. Here's what I did for my kids. Now, if you're gonna do this, you need to make sure that the credit lines stay good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had this conversation a couple days ago with my daughter. Lately, we've been talking about money a lot lately. Welcome to having a kid and being in a relationship, right? So you can, like, let's say your kid is 2 years old. You can take your 2-year-old, take their social security number, give it to your credit card company, add them on as an authorized user, and it will build their credit.
Sure.
So I can take you, put you on my credit line, add you as an authorized user, and my credit line transfers to you. So you can do it that way. I hear about trade lines. It's a little suspect. It is out there, but I don't know. You don't know when they're going to come down on that. So if you're in a relationship, first of all, if you put somebody on your credit line, don't give them access to it. Don't give them the card. You can just build their credit that way. So that's the way to go about it. The secure credit cards are cool. You need 3 lines of credit, number 1, to build your credit. So if you have $1,000, you can put 330 or whatever it is on each, send it to each bank, they'll send you a credit card. When you go to run your credit, make sure those balances are 0 or very low, because the more money you use toward the limit, the lower your score is going to be.
All right. And then Arthur says, well, thank you. Yes, I'm getting cooking lessons, because he was talking about when his dad and stuff, when you're talking about cooking. I'm getting cooking lessons. I knew about it, but I like how you put it in that perspective. Tell me, I just started reading a book called Money Masters the Game, 7 Steps to...
That's Tony Robbins' book. I actually have that book at my house.
7 Steps to Financial Success. This book is from somebody named Tony Robbins. I was wondering what you think of him, and if you knew how reliable these money gurus are. Can our net worth really turn around within a year?
Your net worth can turn around in months. First of all, you have to, like, I'll give you an example, right? We had a house in Riverside, right? I'm not going to say how it burned down, but it did. And we had just put brand new furniture, TVs, and we just loaded this house with everything. And so the house caught on fire. And I was like, boom, I heard an explosion, I'm up. Yeah, I think I left my girl in the house. People in the movies, you see a fire, oh, I got time, the house on fire. No, you don't.
Right.
Shit, trust me, it's hot as hell. So, anyway, so I run outside, I'm in my drawers, and I'm sitting on the curb, and I go to run back in the house. Everyone's outside, and I go to run back in the house. And my neighbor, who's a fire chief, goes, don't do that. That's where people die, doing the shit you're getting ready to do.
Right.
He goes, ain't nothing in that house that you can't replace. And so I sat down, I was a wreck. But then the sun came up.
Yeah.
You know, the neighbors drive by you in your drawers and a Red Cross blanket. And I was like, you know, there was nothing of the pictures and stuff were safe. You know, I lost all my celebrities, all a lot of files. You know, I could use it. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, I didn't need any of that stuff. And then I got this feeling of, wow, I'm free. I don't have nothing. I could just move. Right? So sometimes you have to let things go. And if you have a car payment in here, let it go. Like some of you guys you understand debt is slavery, right? Like black people used to be slaves, but debt is still slavery. Like I see people, I hate to see it. People, like when I say to somebody, can you put money away for your family? They're like, no, I got to pay for my range. I'm like, God should just do you like the Avengers and the Thanos and just disappear your ass from out of here. You're sucking up oxygen for the human race. If you have a big car payment and you're not saving money, you're killing yourself. And it's not just about saving money, it's about protection. Like, I was meeting with another client, and she goes, well, my husband don't want to talk about money. He's not interested. I said, here's what he means by that. Men tend to die early. We have heart attack, stroke before the women, right? So now the man is in trouble. So I said, what he's going to do is have you wipe his ass from the crack to the back. He's going to have you comb his hair, give him a bath, put him in the car, wheel him to the doctor, all that stuff. You're going to have to wheel him around. You ain't going to have no money. He ain't going to be sleeping with you. And you're going to be stuck waiting for him to die. He needs to have his ass at the meeting. Number one. Two, you need to have some protection. Right? I tell people get disability, get long-term care, get critical illness, injury. Put your money away. Like, stack your stuff. You know what's sexy, what's swag? Is having cash in your pocket.
Yeah.
I know that.
I don't even know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Well, I have to go back to one of your questions where you said like your debt ratio to what you have.
Yeah,
When,
right. Debt
when-
information.
yeah,
And I promise you guys, we're going to get to every last
Yes.
one of y'all questions.
when I paid off a lot of my debt, in a month, my credit score went up by 40 points.
Boom, just like
Just
that.
like that, in a month. So,
All right.
so there's a lot of truth. So that he's not just talking like he's just wishing
Okay.
it in.
So we got a lot of questions. And O says, when I purchased a home, that home is paid for with my signature. The bank then goes to the U.S. Treasury window and gets 10 times the amount of the loan and then gives you a mortgage for 30 years. And yet and yet you can't have a debt older than 7 years. So again, why can't I use my credit as the bank does?
Okay, so first of all, we don't have the power like the banks do.
Right.
Goldman Sachs, those cats, they like. First of all, if you watch the Goldman Sachs, the Masters of the Game, and you watch Too Big to Fail, like you should be watching these financial movies.
Mm-hmm.
Understand how money works. These guys are geniuses. Now listen, here's what I'm gonna say, right? I know Wall Street and all these people people say they got over on us. Guess what? It's never gonna stop. When you have a bank paying a politician, a lobbyist, the rules are never gonna change. Obama, Biden, B-Rack, what's in the Bible? Bendigo, whatever the names are. It's not going to change. So we have to get away from waiting for the government to help us. We need to help us. But here's the good thing about traveling, is being in this country, in America, we have some of the best rights. You go to Bangladesh, you go to Bali, you go to Mexico, you go to France. You don't have those rights that we have here. We have it made. First of all, and somebody this is where I want to go. The welfare state. First of all, I used to tell people I would sell oranges before I collect the welfare check, right? It's just there's things you can do. People say, I don't know what to do. Do something. I can't get a job. You're not supposed to have a job. Like people here's what I like about immigrants, right? Be it from Mexico or Botswana, wherever they come from, is they know they can come here and have an opportunity. You could buy oranges from Costco and sell them in your neighborhood. I used to take my kids. We used to go to Costco and buy M&Ms and sell them to the kids at school. Till the principal said, "Oh, he can't do that." I was like, as far as I'm concerned, he's done with school because he gets it and you dummies don't. So you don't have to have a job. You don't need to leave your household for $100 a day, for $200 a day, when you can sell shit on the internet or hit your neighborhood, knock on doors and say, hey, I got this for sale. I'll clean those windows, whatever it is. But I'm not going to have a dude tell me when I can go on vacation.
Jeff Bezos started in his damn garage.
Surely did.
Dude, I love Amazon. I hear people kill Amazon. That's dumb as hell. And that AOC chick, she needs to step to the left.
All right, so I'm gonna get to some of these comments, and
Yeah,
Brian
please
said
do, don't
exactly
get me-
about something because we behind it. And Al
Oh,
says,
good.
a beautiful lady on that show said, being broke is a state of mind. Explain that to your audience.
It is a state of mind because being broke is how you act. Because some people get paid and then they're saying I'm broke. You get paid. You don't have to buy those things. You don't have to buy new clothes. You can go to the Goodwill, or you can make your stuff, or you can be fine on the dime, right? Oh, I think my sister owns that website. There's things you can do. If you have a job and you're broke, that's your fault. It ain't Obama's or Trump. It's your fault. Period. Because you can take your check and you can put 10, 20% away, and you can cut those expenses. I tell people my expenses, personally, I have some business expenses. I'm like Kanye West. I won't be specific. But my personal expenses are next to zero. I eat like a rabbit.
Okay, and then Brian says my 18-year-old has a credit score of 780. Brian is
That's
a financial guru as well.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm at 760. I think, something like that.
Protect your credit.
Lord, I'm at 850. What y'all talking about?
Protect your credit.
And then, hey, Secret Garden, where you been? It says secured credit cards, $1,000, 3 cards. I'm gonna do that this week. Thanks.
Cornucopia.com, baby.
Yes.
Hit me up.
Yes.
And Al says, if you owe someone money, don't say I got you. I haven't forgot you. Don't worry about it. My good friend Ron said, anywhere you will pay the white folks and then go take your and they gonna take your shit.
Mhm.
He says, pay me. My mother every money. So basically, he's saying, don't give me excuses. Pay me my money. And Brian says, credit is queen. That's right.
I saw that.
Nancy says, Aflac.
Yeah, if you get the, so let me talk about this real quick. I'm glad Nancy brought up the Aflac, the duck. They've done a good job. Because you know what hurts people the most is disability, chronic illness, injury.
Right.
Like you could work until you die, but you know why you can't sometimes? Because you get injured. So like me, I have, several life insurance policies. If I die, my kids are millionaires, it's whatever, right? If I get injured, they get a critical illness, they'll get a giant check for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you have a written plan. That's the other thing you need to do. Write down what you want. My kids know if something happens to me, they get a big check. They know the height, race, and waist, race of my masseuse. They know what I like to eat, the movies, the books, what I like to do on the weekends, and how I think. I've got the books, the movies they got to watch before they get the money. You understand what I'm saying? So these are some of the things you do. They take time, but like, how long does it take to be laid up in a hospital bed and they don't even know where to put the pillow?
Right. And then Brian says, beware, stock market crash within 2 years, save money now. O says, you're very good at operating inside the matrix. Now you need to wake up like Nero and become empowered from the matrix,
Yeah, I know. I watch the Matrix all the time. I got a bass woofer under my couch. I love that movie.
Yes, I love it too.
But actually, you know what? The Matrix is a very good movie, and there's a lot of truth in that. A lot of truth in the Matrix. You just have to stop and watch it a bunch of times. And you have to, again, you have to take care of yourself. And I'm going to swing a little bit to which side are you? You're on the left side, right?
I know.
I'm talking about political.
No.
Oh, okay. You in the middle? Okay, we ain't nowhere. Nowhere means present, now, here. I'm going to come back to that. Next question.
Okay.
Because I need to reframe that. I don't want to punch too many people.
Okay, Arson says about putting a baby on credit card as an unauthorized user to build their credit. Just asking for people in general. Does it mean that if the person does not handle their credit right, the baby who will later be grown will also have bad credit? Yes. About my question with Tony Robbins, am I understand that you do recommend it?
Okay, 2 questions. One, here's the good thing about the kids. If you put your baby on your credit report and you mess up the credit, like you fall ill, because they were under 18 or they didn't sign for it, it falls off. So
don't mess up the baby.
I mean, but I'm just saying, but it's a good move though. And if something doesn't go wrong because they didn't sign for it, you can just take them off. Right. I was 18. I had a house on my credit. I was like, I never bought a house. So, and I say my parents use my credit. I don't know, right? But if they were trying to, I appreciate it.
And Al, nothing happens to that money if it's legal, okay?
Right, and then the other question about Tony Robbins.
Oh, yes.
It is a good book. Keep in mind, Tony Robbins is a businessman. So that book, toward the end and Unshakable, tends to be veered toward going towards his companies. And I'm not mad about that. But on page, like 447, he talks about the rich man's Roth. That's my favorite page. But it's a good book. And Tony Robbins, by the way, was broke for most of his life. Recently, Tony Robbins has just got to the point where he's got true wealth now because he's made a bunch of mistakes.
Question in regards to marriage. So let's say I get married and I have bad credit, but my wife has good credit. So would my credit transfer to her or vice versa? I mean, how do they look at that?
Okay, the answer is don't get married. No, if you have bad credit and your wife has good credit, what she could do is put you on as an authorized user, especially since she tends to be more responsible, right? And you two just don't buy anything together, right? Because your credit won't affect her, but like things like taxes, if you get married and all of a sudden you file in joint and you get tax problems, they become her tax problems.
All right. And so Arson is replying. Alex says, I've noticed something about you. You bring that moral support and good energy to the show, but once we've sorted through most of your comments, ever thought about doing stand-up?
Oh, you talking about Al?
Yeah, ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? Yes, he has.
Al, you need to do stand-up, like seriously, right? I mean, like, Lord have mercy. And I do stand-up comedy on the side, too. I've been to the Improv in Ontario. Money is funny.
All right, and then let's see. Says Thomas Jefferson warned us about banks. So what
Yeah,
I'm hearing from you is that we should accept being an energy slave and be grateful that we live in the greatest country in the world, and not greatest country in the world, and not a third world country. And we need to rest well, knowing it's just another day on the plantation.
Okay, so first of all, we don't have plantations in America, right? Our plantations are self-inflicted, right? I'm a black dude, right? Like, not mixed. My grandparents were Indian, but I saw them a couple times. I'm a black dude. When I get pulled over, I'm a black man. When I walk into my bank, I got money in there, they give it to me. When I deposit money in there, it stays. Based on my credit, they'll give me money. Like, money is green. So some of that stuff, like, I get it, right? America has not been cool to black people. But here's the thing, though. This is the country, and I'm not, pro this or America. That's not where this is going. But, like, I've been to multiple continents, and I can tell you, like, being in Mexico or being in Europe, I was in Italy, in Naples, and I was in a hotel, and they had this protest, and I heard this African dude on this thing, like, we were like, he was in a foreign language, he was yelling, and they were like in the streets, and the streets were blocked. We couldn't even get out of the hotel. Right. I was in Greece, and the day after me and my girlfriend left, like maybe a day or two, they locked the ATMs. Like, you couldn't even get your money as a country.
Right.
Nobody could get money.
Yeah, that's when the banks were failing over there.
And like, if you make, and I was in Dubai, if you make a mistake in Dubai, you just disappear. Ain't no courts in Dubai. You just, I don't know what happened to him.
It's a kingdom,
Poof,
right?
it was Xanos. He's out of here, right? I've been to Cuba. He's like, we don't have crime. We don't do it here. We just do it. So yeah, this is like, and those people are not coming to this country because it's jacked up. We got some problems here.
We did.
And one of the big problems when it comes, and I noticed we're getting a lot of like, African American comments.
Well, this is a black show.
It's a black show, so let me address that then. We need to stop with the, I'm just going to say it. We need to stop with the integration type stuff. Like, every other race gets their shit together first.
Yeah,
and then they integrate. You can't integrate. Now, I know we were brought here, and the Black Wall Street was blown up and bombs dropped. And I know some craziness, and so you can't go back and undo some of that stuff. But what we can do now is we can take over. We can take over. We can be nicer to each other as black people, number one. And when you get money, save it. Like people, I've heard about black reparations and all that. You know what people are doing right now is they are looking for ideas and things that black people will buy. Dave Chappelle did a show on black reparations, and it was right on the money, and it was funny because it was true. We need to own that at this point, right? What was done by, the white man or whatever it is, whatever we're discussing, is done. But you know what helps you with that? Be it whoever is coming after you is money. Period. Money will fix a lot of stuff. We have to treat ourselves better. That's all there is to it. So, and I get it. I do. When I say I love living here over other countries.
However,
because it's beautiful.
Yes.
Like when you travel, but like I know, like for instance, when I get back to America, like for instance, when I was in Dubai, people were going through the line, immigrate, we were scared as shit because they're like, go over there, go over there.
Right.
You go sit over there, whatever. I was scared as hell. When I landed back in America, I was like, wow, this is the safest I've felt in a long time. I can take my clothes off and run around and do the jig, and I'll go to jail and get an opportunity to explain myself.
Right.
In some countries, you'll just be dead.
Yeah, you're done.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I'm talking about this country. We do have the best right. You can, in this country, file for bankruptcy, and they'll let you start all over. You file for bankruptcy in Iran or some of those places, they'll just cut your hand off. They don't play games like that.
All right. And
That's what
Margaret
I'm
says,
saying.
how does authentication, thank you, help you? And can using your original birth certificate can you use your original birth certificate as stock options?
When you find out, let me know the answer to that. So let me address something. And I have been known to like step on toes, and people get mad at me all the time, and I'd rather be right than popular. we have to get to the point where we own responsibility. You're either a victim or you are responsible. Period. Here's what I mean by that. If a dude runs up on the curb and runs you over, and you're at the crosswalk in your lane, you know what I say? I shouldn't have been standing there. Should have had somebody in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I went to the guy, he jacked my hair up. I should have known better. I should have. You have to take responsibility for everything that happens to you. Right now, since this is a black show, you know, we were slaves and we came here and there was nothing funny about that. I hear people joke about slavery. There's nothing funny about it. Like, you know, like people say, oh, let's have a picnic. That was like pick a nigga to burn. You know, don't call me a peon because that's what they did to black people after slavery. You walk the street, it was $8, pay me, go to jail till you pay it off. I get all that stuff. It wasn't funny. So that's why I think we need to be more progressive. That's why I like our black leaders, of the old black leaders. Not talking about these new cats, the Maxine Waters and all these people. They just collecting checks.
Right.
I'm talking about the real black leaders. By the way, they were all Republican. I'm just saying, you can Google it.
Yeah, back
right?
to that.
And I'm not here preaching the blacks. I don't like really Republicans or Democrats. I think they're all in it for a check.
Yeah, it's all the same team.
Why does a billionaire all of a sudden want to be president?
Right.
For power.
Right.
So we need to do more of that. And we did have Barack Obama as a black president. And I know people think it was Bill Clinton. But like the Clintons did worse for black people than almost any other president. We can talk about that off camera. We had a black president and we blew it. Because I would walk in somewhere in a suit, they would go, oh, Obama. I got called Obama so many times. But people would bow down. I made moves sometimes. One dude was like, you remind me of Barack Obama. I'm going to write you a check.
Yikes.
We had that.
What kind of fellow suit was that? Maybe I need to get
I'm just saying, like, here's another thing, too. Like, take care of yourself. Like, just, people say, why do you wear a suit jacket every time you go? I just love people move out the way.
Yes.
And to be honest, Walter's dressed like this probably 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Like he has on jeans and tennis shoes, but for the
business
most part,
casual.
he's buttoned up from the waist up, business casual. If he's really gonna do something,
But,
he's
you know,
buttoned
When
up
I get
all the
pulled
way.
over, all they can see is a suit and jacket.
Yeah. But here's my question: what's wrong with you might not be a millionaire right now, but if you're not dressing the part and feeling the part, how are you ever going to get there?
Great point. And here's another thing. Here's what being a millionaire. Being a millionaire is not necessarily having $1 million. Because there are a lot of people that have $1 million that don't live like it. Here's what having $1 million does for you. You can take $1 million, put it in the bank. They will give you 2% interest. They will give you $20,000 a year or $1,600 a month. That ain't millionaire status, right? You take $1 million and put it in an annuity or a mutual fund that's paying you 5%. That's giving you $4,000 a month. That ain't millionaire status. You understand what I'm saying? But here's what millionaire status is. Millionaire status is being free, right? So, and me and my girl would fight about money all the time to the point you come over to my house, there'll be holes in the walls. We just would fight. Okay, not a lot of holes, once in a while a hole. People say money will do things. Money will make you say something to somebody that you love that you wouldn't say to an enemy. So here's how I became a sort of a feeling millionaire, right? Because I'm still working on myself. Is I got rid of my car payment. I cut it loose. I had a car, DTA, I had a Mercedes Benz. I told him, hey, it's parked out front.
Come and get it.
Come get it. I never had such a good feeling than not having that debt. My credit cards, I let them all go. It's just gone. I have like very few expenses. And, I moved into a house, that I'm leasing, trying to get the landlord to sell it to me. I'm waiting for the crash. Whoever said the stock market is going to crash, it is coming. It is true. Hit us on the website. Save your money for real estate in the future. Stock options are huge when the market crashes. We can talk about that. But so what I did is I said I was looking for a house to lease, but I found a house with solar panels. So I don't have an electric bill. That saves me $300 a month, right? So that, I Airbnb two of my rooms up. People say, oh, you got strangers in your house. Don't be a dumbass. You have strangers all around you. Somebody goes on Airbnb, they got to put on their internet, their information, their ID, their credit card. I wish somebody would act a fool in my house. Airbnb will cut me a check for $1 million if they get out. I wish somebody would act up.
You want
I'll be antagonizing him. Hey, man. What you got on?
You cut the water off.
Right.
The point I'm making, so instead of making a car payment, people know me. You won't see me in the same car for 2 weeks. I'm like, this car got equity.
change it out.
You always got to make moves. You always got to make moves, and don't let people criticize. You got to get rid of the haters. I don't care if you sell oranges on the freeway. I'd rather sell oranges and make $200 a day than punch a clock and make $250 and have some people telling me what to do.
I think I might pick that up as a hustle.
I'll sell oranges in a minute. I don't care. It just money moves. Like money is everything. And when you go through religion, they talk about money more than anything else.
in the book.
So I love it when I ride down the street on Sunday and I see people with their coats on the ground and the alligator shoes and all that stuff. And I'm like, I wonder how many tips they took from today. Right? Because the preacher got a Bentley and a Ferrari and all that stuff. I don't even say his name, right?
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with it. I think Joel Osteen, he got a private jet. I love it, right? The dude works hard, right? And he got a bunch of books, whatever.
Right.
But, like, get to the money first, period. Money is everything. Work on that first. Cut your expenses. That's how you live like a millionaire, right? I've been to 20 countries in 18 months. And it's just because I don't have other expenses. So instead of making a car payment, I go to Bali. You know what I'm saying? Instead of eating out at McDonald's, I'll go and I can have sushi at home from what I can get a Big Mac for me and my kids for. It just makes sense.
All right. And Al has, if marriage is grand, then divorce must be 10 grand. And Joe says, hello, my friend. Very busy right now. Try to catch a show later. Thank you. He says, it's a black show, but you got white support. All right now. Market says, how does authentic... Okay, so we read that one already. And O says, money doesn't exist. Only credit, I was speaking of plantation metaphorically.
Yeah.
Who said anything about integration?
Okay, let me stop right there. That's actually, this morning I watched the thing. First of all, there's no more money on the planet. It's currency.
Right.
It was, in 1971, Richard Nixon separated
the gold
gold
standard.
from money.
Right.
Money is gone. It's now currency. It's a fiat currency, which is a forced currency, which means they force us to use that money.
Right. Faith-based.
Right? So, here's a financial tip. Go out and get hard assets. Gold, silver. That's why I buy cars. Like, I have 4 cars in my neighborhood.
Asset, right.
My neighbors hate me. But I'm like, if the banks crash, those ain't. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the reason I brought in segregation and integration is because you have to get yourself together first. Like, me and my girl used to fight all the time, right? When I was trying to lose weight and all these things. And then somebody said to me, you know how you get your girl's attention? Get your shit together. Keep your waistline thin.
Right.
Keep your clothes tight. Keep your hair cut. Keep your teeth clean. You know, fill in the gaps. Shave. Whatever. Your girl see you getting out, going to the gym. Your man see you going out after, hey, babe, I'm going to the gym. I'll be back. I've got some money saved over here. You know what? I ain't going to put mayonnaise and creams and sauces on my stuff. You know, 300 calories adds up. Then you become better. So the reason I brought up integration and segregation is when you take care of yourself first, then you can enter. You don't let a has-been into the party. If a dude sitting outside with 2 different colored shoes on, unless it's a style, he got holes in his shirt and he smells, you don't let him in. You tell him, go back, get yourself together, and come in. We as black people need to get our shit together first and then integrate. Period. I like Malcolm X. He was right on the money.
Right. Well, recently with that lady down in Houston who put in a dress policy for those kids.
You know, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that Tuesday. Yes.
But I thought that was very important because you got to start.
She's my hero.
That's what I said.
She gonna need security, but because black people be the first one to go after her. We be the first one to attack the people that are giving us. Like when Bill Cosby, some of those guys was like, "You need to save your money." Like they went after him. Like who do he think he is? Like
right. They call that the famous pound cake speech.
Yeah.
And Al said, "Oh my God, I guess Walt doesn't want his reparation check." I don't know what that's in regards to, but he won't.
We must have blacked out on Wi-Fi because I said I want my reparation check.
Right.
I said I know what to do. Let me tell you what. If I got $10,000 today, I take my black ass down to the auto auction and I buy 3 BMWs for $3,000, sell them for $6,000. So what's that? What's 3 into 6? Boom! I have 20 at the end of the week.
Yep.
That's what I would do. My reparation check.
After the show.
Yeah.
And then Nancy said, "Stop making that face, D. Just punch him." I think about it. And it also says, "Would you be interested in a business investment? If so, how may I contact you?" I pinned the website on here. That Marcus put up. Thank you for that too, Marcus. And Al says, they talk about my friend Donovan all day and night, but at the bank they call him Mr. Sadiq.
That's it. That's it. I walk in, no problems.
And Marcus says, my biggest debt is back child support. I had $50,000 taken off the books for my oldest 2, but I have the back child support now. for my youngest who has never been able to visit me.
Okay, first of all, again, I'm not a lawyer. Hit me up on the website, but child support and visitation have nothing to do with each other as far as seeing them. And the child support offices, believe it or not, they're like the IRS. They're getting friendlier. If you just walk in there and say, "Hey, I can give you $300 a month.
Right.
I'm bringing in $1,000," they will work with you. They have to now,
And
because things are changing for them.
yeah. And if you're in the rears, I'm not a lawyer either, but if you're in the rears, you can renegotiate that to get something, or be sweet with old girl, and she could write it off completely.
Hit her with the coconut oil
Yeah,
for the weekend.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Take one for the
Coconut oil,
team.
little Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, take one for the
That'll cut the
team.
back child support.
I'm serious. No, and that's a true statement. 'Cause I had a
Donovan's speaking
cousin.
from experience.
Yeah, no, I had a cousin, female.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah. I had a female cousin. I am not lying. She came to me. She said, "What should I do?" Because the father was asking for the rears to be, ejected.
Time to bring his ass home.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, "Don't do it." So he's playing the game all nice and sweet. She did it. The guy got relieved of $56,000. He still returned back to his asshole status.
Oh my God.
And she can never get that money back again.
All right. And hey, cuz, Quentin says true. And then Marcus says, can 0 visitation over 13-year-old work in my favor? Yeah. I mean, nothing's impossible. Again, we are not lawyers.
Right.
And Al says, I was always told don't count another man's money. For sure. Count your own. And O says, why do we need a license for everything, but in particular to start a job?
Okay, so let's stop right there. That's a good question. Not that the rest of them weren't. First of all, I have no licenses. I have an insurance license from time to time. It just depends on how I feel. But here's the thing. You don't need it. Do you think Warren Buffett has a license?
Exactly.
Do you think Bill Gates? Do you think Tony Robbins? Do you think, like, Jeff Bezos has a license? F those licenses sometimes. Like, sometimes a license or a degree will pigeonhole you. That's the true story. I went to RCC. And
Riverside Community
it's
College.
Riverside Community College, right?
College.
That's a C. And my economics teacher goes, you stay here for 4 years, I'm going to teach you how to make $70,000.
It's a 2-year college.
And, and that's the day I dropped out all my classes. I said I'd be a damn fool to sit here for 4 years and learn how to make $70,000. And I struggled like hell after that. But I was sticking to my guns.
Right.
But I followed him to the parking lot in his busted khakis and his worn out shoes, and he was bent over, hunchback, and he walked into a VW bus. I was 30 years old. I was like, confirm my decision to quit school.
Well, damn.
Now, I'm not, school is good, but like me and my son Evan, he's 16, we were having this conversation. I was like, dude, you want to be a coder? Code right now. There's no rule that says you can't code at 16.
Right.
Like, start a business. When I was a kid, we mowed lawns. I sold shit. I sold candy. It blows me away that people, like, first of all, jobs are disappearing. Like, you mentioned Andrew Yang. Okay, if I was going to vote for a Democrat, he'd probably be my, and I'm not endorsing this cat.
Yeah, right.
Because I've only seen him on YouTube. But he made a good point, and I think people missed it. I'm not for giving people nothing to not, giving them money for not working. I think that's how you destroy the rest of the material of the human race. But he made a good point. AI's taking over. I used to call on the phone, and a lady would answer the phone. Or like, now you walk into a restaurant or a bank, it's a kiosk.
Right.
Dude, I was
You got a restaurant to pay your bill.
Yeah, I was talking on the phone about something, and all of a sudden that pops up on my phone as an advertisement. Dude, AI is everywhere. Those jobs are disappearing. So figure out how you can make money. One, you need to figure out something that people are going to always need. And no, you don't need a license. As a matter of fact, licenses hold you back a lot of times. That's why people will let them go. Here's the thing.
But I should say you need a license to do a lot of things to operate legally.
Now, here's what I'm saying. Like, in my field, you need like an insurance license, depending on what you're doing. But the point I'm making is, it doesn't have to hold you back. Do you, it's like, for instance, like, do you think that the guy that owns a hospital has a doctor's degree?
Hell no.
Do you think the shareholders have degrees?
No.
No, they have the money. So you don't need it. No, matter of fact, and I'm going to kind of wrap this question with this, is you just can go. There's nothing stopping you from working, selling stuff. People say, oh, I get off at 5 o'clock. No, you don't. If you have a job, your real job starts at 5, because that's when you should be cutting off the TV and working. If you come to my house at 6 o'clock, and if let's say I'm even there, I got paperwork everywhere, I'm working on something. Like, you always have to be working on something. The days of, like, you getting a job and, like, the master taking care of you, those days
Yeah,
are
those are gone.
over.
They're gone.
All right. And Nancy says, as your mom would say, pay yourself first.
She
Yes,
used
that's
to
what
always,
my mom used to say.
she used to say
And
that. And she
speaking
used
of
to
which,
say,
she's
she used
trying to be tagged up in the video.
yeah, my mom used to say, pay me first.
Right.
Pay yourself first. My mom used to always say, what's it going to cost?
Right.
Like, oh, what am I getting from it?
And Al says, yes or no to the panel. Does more money mean more love?
Yes.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
does. It opens a lot of doors.
Les Brown says, if you have money, a woman will find something cute about you.
Yes.
And that's true. So sometimes I'll drive a BMW, I'll drive a Mercedes, I'm getting ready to pick up a Porsche on Thursday. I just want to see how women, you know what, when I pull up in the
Watch
Porsche,
out now, because you get beat up, you got a woman.
I don't get out and holler at them, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I'm the same dude, same suit, same
Hello.
haircut, same money in my pocket. If I pull up in a Datsun B210, a girl will look, because I'm somewhat attractive and I got the little gray hair thing
Yeah,
going
go
on.
on.
But if I'm in a Porsche,
Experience, Sean.
or if I got the drop on the Mercedes, they'll look 2 times, hit the corner, look around again because women like security. So it's not that women are money hungry. Women aren't gold diggers.
Right.
They like the old kings of Africa who would step up and take care of their
them.
woman.
Mm-hmm.
Women like security.
Absolutely.
Period. So a man that's dressed nice in a nice car, or even don't have to be a Mercedes, it could be a Honda, it could just be clean.
Mhm.
He could be over here like Donovan, got his house paid off, it's clean, he got tea already on his car, ice in it already, it's cold. Girl walk up here, it's coconut all the time. You know?
What's up with this coconut?
That's it. Amanda.
I'm just
I need you to get over here. That's
So,
it.
yeah. Having your stuff together that's why when you go out, you see the old 70-year-old dudes with the
Yeah.
40-year-old women, or the 60-year-old dudes with 30-year-old women. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Women just like security.
Mhm.
That's
All right.
it.
And so said he meant to say start a business, a license to start a business, but you hit that on the head.
I mean, we're in California where we are, so
Mhm.
you need business licenses to do certain things, but you can get started.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody stopping you from, like, going to Bali, and I'm just, like, go to cornucopia.com, give us 6 months, there'll be a mall there,
Mhm.
and bringing this stuff back and selling it for $10. I live near an airport, and I have a lot of Chinese people come stay in my Airbnb, right? And they'll go straight to Ontario Mills where they have a limit on the items you can buy, and they pack these giant suitcases and send them back. Thank God China Airlines is now at my airport.
Right.
And they send them back.
Straight back to Taiwan and things. Direct flight.
All right.
And the lady's like, I don't have a job. I get paid to shop.
Mm-hmm.
So Arson says, replying to Al Jackson, okay, so Donovan has mentioned investing in stocks and cannabis, which I have done, and Walt Disney also making sense. Are there any types of stocks that you think are promising that you might recommend, please?
Okay, first of all, when you go to buy stocks, it needs to be money that can sit there for a minimum of
Long
5
term.
years.
Long
If
term.
you're buying stocks and you need that money next year, don't do it. Build your cash reserve first, because stock markets go up and down. Now, if I'm going to give stock advice, buy something that people have to have.
Weed.
Alcohol, weed, cigarettes.
It's true.
And then I'm going to get to the semi-important
Yeah.
stuff. Food,
Yeah.
right? Buy things that people need, right? So go there first. I like the defensive or the value stocks. Value stocks are stocks that tend to they'll pay a higher dividend because the stock price has been depressed. They've had a rough time, right? So then you can buy things that are, in the stock market they say buy low, sell high.
Yes.
So when a company gets in trouble, like I'm waiting for Apple Computer to get in trouble, or when Toyota got beat up,
Shit, we all are.
I was like, oh, Toyota time,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So you buy when a stock gets hit,
Like Sprint.
like
right now.
when Chipotle, like when the person they got sick or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that was buying time, baby.
Yes.
And I got another stock tip for you guys. Beyond Meat is going public this week. I don't know which day,
Beyond
but
Meat.
Beyond Meat obviously is the new vegan craze where
Ooh,
vegan
yeah.
meat is everywhere. I sent you the article.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
sent it. I read it.
I got
it's
some in my
going
refrigerator.
public, and it's starting from $18 to $22 per stock,
Oh yeah.
and that's going to go through the roof.
Right.
Now, and if you're not in a position to buy stocks, one thing that I'll do is I'll buy stock options. So let's say I'm buying a stock that's $50, and I don't necessarily want to spend the $50. I might be able to spend $2 or $3 for the right to buy it at like 52, 53. So let's say I spend $3 and the stock is at 50, and I spend $3 and I have the right, let's say I have the right to buy it at 52. If it goes to 60, I have the right to buy it at 52, and I can sell it 60, same transaction, no money out of pocket.
Exactly.
Now I spent $2 to make 8, subtracted 2, then what do I got, or whatever I spent on it? $3, $2, right? So if I make 8 minus the 2, I made $6 on $2 or $3. That's like 200% on your money. So that's what, like, you have to watch movies like Wall Street, Too Big to Fail. Oh my God, there was a Margin Call, another good movie. Watch these financial movies; they teach you all this stuff. So I like to buy insurance. Like, insurance is where the money is, right? Stock options are insurance against a stock portfolio. And then life insurance, of course, that's where rich people put their money. Tony Robbins' book will talk about that.
So I know you gotta get out of here. So we'll get to the rest of these questions, I promise you. So Marcus says, as a working 24-year-old, what is the best and safest investment to put money into as I learn the process of investing? And I think he was asking for his daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, asking for his daughter.
First of all, here's what I say. If you have kids, for the most part, if you have a good relationship with them, and if you're putting money away for them, hopefully you do, is keep the money in your name. I tend to do that so you keep control. Plus, when you go to get college financial aids and things, when the money's in your name, you have a better chance of getting financial aid. So, and if the money is truly invested for the kid, you just need to put a time frame. If the kid is 16 and the money's for when they're 36, then you have a 20-year window, so you can invest like you have 20 years. And at that point, you can get into almost anything that has worked in the past, because now you can afford to take the risk. So make sure you have cash. Make sure you have, this is going to sound very maybe counterproductive, but make sure you have lines of credit. Like, if you have $10,000 in lines of credit and things get rough, that could be a backup. That's what those are for. Lines of credits are for either opportunities. I can borrow money from Citibank at 6 and I can loan it somewhere else and make 10, or I can borrow money at 10% from my credit card. I can flip that money and make 20. That, or for emergencies. If things get rough, then you can dip into your line of credit to give yourself a backup. So build your cash reserve, get a good line of credit, and then invest in things, tear it out. Put money away, that's safe for like 2 years. Maybe look at like some sort of bond, or something that's hard. And then if you're gonna go longer, then I think stocks make sense once you've taken care of all those things up front.
All right, cool. Al says, I lost $5 in a vending machine last week. It doesn't make any sense. No pun, silly. Let's see. And O says,
Lord have mercy.
the state says I need to the state says I need so many adults for so many babies if I want to operate a daycare. I also need a license and probably take a class. Yeah, so that's what we're saying.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, you need to have a license to watch your kids, but ain't nothing stopping you from starting a daycare in the back.
That's it. That's it. Like the old days.
Because no one does that. Right?
Big Mama and them daycare, right?
I used to babysit kids.
Yeah.
And I know
First
my
job.
babysitter's kids. I ain't never seen a license.
Wow. And Arthur says, replying to Al, maybe my last two questions, in terms of percentage, how should our income be divided? Like, how much should be going into debts? How much should be going into save to be good or great? Let's see, good or great. And maybe my last question, what are some of the best books out there you would recommend when it comes to ways of saving money?
Good question. So first of all, when you make money, you should put money away. I do not care. I know it's not hard to do this, just discipline.
Yeah,
it's put money away first or invest it in something. Like me, I've been known to take a lot of risk and make investments.
Aggressive, yeah.
Put it somewhere to work first. Then take care of your core responsibilities. Like you should be putting as much as you can. I mean, rule of thumb is to save minimum 10% of your income, maybe 25%. Because if you're not saving 10% of your income, there will become the day where you're going to be 70 and trying to be sexy and swinging on the pole is not sexy at 70.
It ain't.
So geriatric jiggle is not a movement, right? Put your money away first. And it's funny now, but think about this.
Daughter, you like that geriatric jiggle, don't you?
Hey, Amanda can do it?
Yeah. If you take $100 a month, right? Think about this for a second. So let's say I'm married, right? Or me and you are married. Use your imagination. And we're going to save $100 a month. That's $25 a week. That means me and her each put in $12 a week.
$12.50.
$2 a day.
Right.
Me and her we put somewhere that's going to pay us 10, 12%, the stock market, buying things, selling them.
Right.
buying clothes from another, whatever, and as long as you get 12% on your money.
Mm-hmm.
$2 a day for me and my wife, girlfriend, husband, whatever it is, in 30 years at a 12% interest rate, I will have $350,000
Sitting there, waiting for you.
Like, you're killing me. What's Larry, whatever that is?
Cool.
You're killing me, Larry.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
mattress king, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, $2 a day. So let me break it down. Let's say you're by yourself, right?
Mhm.
$2 a day by yourself, invested for 30 years at 12% gives you $170,000. How many people do you know at 50, 60 that don't have $170,000 saved? It's just idiotic. So when someone says, "Oh, I can't save," you're dumb as hell. You just need to be erased from the Avenger style.
Right.
Put your money away.
I got to see this Avengers because I mean,
Yeah.
You see where
I'm
they-
sorry.
Erase everybody.
That's the last
Yeah,
Avengers.
the last
okay,
Avengers.
wait. A lot of people ain't seen.
I know.
this.
I'm talking about the Avengers
Because I
before
heard
this
somebody
one.
got
Yeah.
beat down for
Yeah.
giving away the Indian.
No.
This
I'm
is
talking
the other
about
Okay.
one. It's already on Blu-ray.
I'm talking about the Blu-ray
Yeah,
Avengers,
Civil War,
right?
right.
They got, if you haven't seen that one, that's just your fault.
Mm.
Everybody got erased in the Avengers before this one,
Okay, got it.
right? So don't act like you don't know they all came back.
Yeah,
All
right.
right.
But it's bad as hell how they came back. I ain't gonna give it away.
Okay,
It
so
was
Nancy,
bad though.
Nancy says, I'm a non-practicing lawyer, juris doctorate, licensed 10 grand. So I help with legal paperwork, drop me cash, Uber, and a warrior manager at Skechers. So I guess she said she doesn't have a license and she does some.
Step on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gone to law school. And Al says, Peter Thomas from the ATL Housewives took his money from the show and spousal support and opened up his own club/restaurant in Miami.
Yeah, he did.
And then Nancy says, I got the hookup on shoes. All right, you know what, Nancy? I need some new running shoes.
Let me
So-
answer this question too. Somebody asked me about good books.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, second part.
so as far as books go, I have the book called As the Money Talks. It'll be out in 2 months. You can find that on Amazon and everywhere. But books that are out at the moment, I like the self-help books first. Like, this is one of the best books I ever read. Read.
he raised those two because some of mine be coming up missing.
But like obviously Think and Grow Rich is one of the best books because it teaches you how to plan, right? So you read books like that, The Compound Effect, right?
Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, books like that, because what they do is they get your
The
mind.
Alchemist.
The Alchemist is a good book. What they do is they get your mind right. The best book I've ever read so far is The Slight Edge by Olson. What it does is it tells you to do little by little. Let me break it down like this. Let's say I'm going to save $1 a day, right? Which ain't a lot of money. But that's $30. At the end of the year, I have $400 saved. Let me ask you a question right now. How many people watching, how many people do you know that don't have $400 in your checking account or your savings account? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So
right.
start with the slight edge, the little things. If you want to lose 50 pounds, cut off the mayonnaise. That's a black people killing anyways. I know this is a black show, right? So kill the sauces. Like, stop it with that stuff, right? You know how you save money? Get healthier. Like, I walk every day, I get up and walk, and my neighbor's like, "Oh, you really gonna lose some weight walking like that?" And she walking her fat ass to the car. I'm just like, you know
go
what?
around the corner.
But it's the slight edge. I'm taking the step one by one. You know, people poke at your stomach. Okay, the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Right.
I feel you, but
Muffin
I'm
top.
walking though, right? While you poke and stand.
And
So-
another good book is the Community of Self by Naeem Akbar. That is a great book. I'm actually in the process of, my father knows him personally, so
Okay.
I'm going to have him sign some copies.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
And
but the
sell them,
Community of Self.
Sign copies.
Actually, my father gave it to my daughter, and getting those things from her is good luck. But
Yes,
one of the best
she's not
books-
giving those up. And another thing you can do, and we've all struggled with this probably, is do what you say you're gonna do.
Yes, follow through.
Follow through. So you notice a lot of these things I'm talking about aren't really money related, but they will help you. Like, everybody watching this show, put a little money away. Like, we can do without swag is like me and my girl were talking, she was like, "You should just buy a new car." I was like, "No, I'm not." I said, "You know what? You like getting on an airplane, don't you? It's cool that we can, like, I live across the street from an airport,
Right.
and in 30, 45 minutes from another one. It's cool to be able to, like, not have all that baggage and those expenses. Cut your expenses, put your money away. Swag is having freedom. That true freedom, first of all, like,
Donovan has a lot of swag.
yeah, Donovan, I call him, he's like, "Shit, I can do whatever I want. What you need me to do right now?" Because he's in a position of financial stability. right? And you guys, all you guys can create that right now. Some of you guys, like somebody I was talking to, had $1,000 car payment.
Ah,
I was like, are
Don't
you
get me
out
started,
of your
yeah.
mind? Like, how do you have a car payment and you don't have any money in the bank? I get it. We do, most of us do it, but you can't. You're not going to get rich that way. And it has nothing to do with white, black, reparations, Trump, Obama. That stuff is 100% you. And newsflash, right? The government, and then we might get reparations. I just think right now it's about time. Right? And in all honesty, I'm not the type of one to say, oh, just give us stuff for nothing. But like reparations for, like, if you like just wake up in the middle of the night and just YouTube like Black history, like the real Black history, you will truly understand.
Yeah.
I don't think we've been, we don't think we've done enough. And I think we as Black people have damaged ourselves too, because I see like the Tiffany Haddish
Psyche,
buffoonery and all that stuff. It just makes me want to like kick
Angela
a hole in
Rye
the
and all those
speaker.
folks.
I'm like, stop embarrassing the race, for God's sake. Like, we need to have some pride. Like, you as Black people, when you get up, leave the house, get your stuff together, look sharp, keep your voices down. Like, you don't like. There's things we can do to
that
improve
counts me out
ourselves.
'cause I'm loud.
I'm just saying, like, and this goes for all races,
All of us,
white,
yeah.
Black, Mexican, everybody. Like, here's what. Where was I? I was somewhere yesterday, and somebody was talking to me. Well, the Mexicans got. Oh, my boy Eddie was talking about. He went to a Black History meeting, and they were talking about the Mexicans. They always got this. You know what the Mexicans do? Is they'll work. They don't care what it is. They'll pick cotton. They'll pick bananas. They don't care. We lived in Riverside, and it was abandoned. Like the white man, the everybody, whoever, the Black people, they just left all these buildings.
Yep.
Arlington and Van Buren, it's all Mexican.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So the dude who owned Cardenas Market started with a pig and a hoe, not a chick, but a tool. And he built $1 billion grocery store chain in one generation from a pig and a tool.
Right.
And he traded one for the other. The point I'm making is sometimes you just have to go for it. People are going to laugh at you. If you're in a hustle, somebody laughs because you're cutting your expenses and your car payments and you're not eating
Yeah, if
out.
you're worried about that.
You've already lost. And Arson says, wow, thank you for the information. And another book O actually gave me is A Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth. The author slips my mind, but The Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth is a good one. I actually sent that to you.
If you go to cornucopa.com, or if you go to info@cornucopa, I will email you the thing, the Oriental Wealth, because I have it on my email.
Okay.
44 pages. I gave it to all my. It basically says this: Orientals, they put their money away first. They don't eat a lot of meat. Instead of eating, they'll eat soup and put meat in it. We eat meat and put soup on it. Right? we'll buy clothes, or when they'll wear the same clothes.
Right.
That's what I love about Asian people. You see the old rich dude wearing the same pants.
Or not the same clothes, but like the movie The Fly, where he had Jeff Goldblum had the same suit.
Right.
Because he said it just reduced his.
Got it.
I have 3 suits: a blue, black, and a gray.
Right. Or if you went to private school like I did, you had a uniform. My mom didn't have to worry about buying us additional clothes.
That is a clue.
Y'all done got him started, but wait, hold on.
Uniforms are the bomb, because that's a code from rich people. You dumbasses, you don't worry about what you wear every day. If you're in a uniform, you just put it on.
And go.
And you know who uniforms the most? Poor people.
Yeah.
You're the people who's protecting. You can wash those blue khakis and that light blue shirt every damn day.
And nobody would know what your status is.
And nobody would know what your status was, but you do it to yourselves.
Right.
Poor is a state of mind.
So I'm gonna get to these comments. And Arson says, "Wow, thank you for the information about Beyond Meat, and thank you, brother, about the information about options." Al says, "Can a power of attorney be overturned with a power of attorney when someone dies?"
But when they're dead, it's gone.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
have attorney
over.
over somebody that's dead.
And Nancy says, "Use cash." And Al says, "Is the Pellegrine water or Mountain Dew? What's a better investment for the money?" It's water.
Okay, first of all, this is not Mountain Dew, it's Mountain Valley. And I bought this from an ethnic store. I like to, if I can, like
support,
represent people of color. I mean, I put money everywhere, but that's why I go to this one place, and the chick is like Iranian. She's like super cool. I like to represent people that have come here to fight. But the reason I drink sparkling water, because if you go to like Europe and other places, they drink sparkling water before they eat. It's good for the digestive system. So that's why I drink sparkling water, for my health.
And Al says, "People waste plenty of money on Viagra. That's a hard pill to swallow." This dude here. Marcus says, "I want to ship. I also want to ship goods to Africa, but need a cheap way to go." Advice. And you know what, you guys, can hit Walter up on Facebook at Walter L Culture, and get with him, ask him questions and stuff, because I know we around that time, and Walter is got to go here. And so also Arson says, oh my God, I love you guys. Half the books you mentioned I have already, just haven't read them yet. Nancy says, Sketcher Outlet off 65 minutes away. Call me, employee discount. Yes, because I was just telling my daughter we need a new shoes.
She is plugging herself, and that's what you need to do. Is you need to and I have a few more minutes. We're good, but you need to plug.
Now you silly.
Well, actually, I don't have a job. I got something else I got to do at 7, but I got a few more minutes. Is Nancy's plugging herself. You need to plug yourself. Tell people what you do. People say, what do you do? I say, what do you need?
Right.
I can do it.
Real quick from a military standpoint, you got a lot of brothers and sisters that are coming out of the military, Hispanics, whatever the deal is. I was talking to a young girl, and she was like, oh, I want to open up this business. I want to do this. This girl's like 23 years old. And I said, well, you don't have the capital to do it. I mean, she has great dreams, but there's no capital. And I said, well, if I were you, I would get into the reserves. Not that I'm a recruiter. And I said, because the military has veterans guaranteed business thing. They'll guarantee your business, or whatever. That capital's there. You're backed by that capital, regardless if your credit's fucked up or not. And when I said that, because I said, how else are you going to do it? She totally just shut down. I mean,
yeah, that's a good idea. The veterans have some good benefits. I know people go to the military. If you're going to go to the military, like if you're going to go to the military for 8 years, just stay for 20. Get your monthly check. I wish I'd have did that at 18, gone to the military, got it at 38, and then started what I'm doing. Because I'd be like the Sadiq over here, getting the check no matter what I'm wearing. And then ask friends and family. I mean, like, but you got to be on it. If you're going to get money from friends and family, you better be working.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you can do that. There doesn't have to, conventional banking is dying.
Right.
There's nothing. Go to my neighbor and say, hey, I'm starting a restaurant. It's risk. It's risky. There's a chance you may not get your money, but at least you can eat for free. I'm starting a restaurant. Are you in? And just keep asking people. And so sooner or later, somebody's going to say
yes.
Jeff Bezos' parents gave him $250,000 to start Amazon.
Right. Exactly.
Risk, put it on the line for their son.
Right.
They're rich.
Right.
Like how rich, right?
Yeah, one of the businesses this person did, because I used to see these guys get out, do 4 years in the military, whatever, reserves, whatever, and they get out, right? And then they open their business. And I said, well, where'd you get the capital? Because this looks He goes, as a veteran. Guaranteed, United States government backed them, gave them the money. Some of them are almost millionaires now, and they've been out of service like 6 years.
And Quentin says, I understand what you're saying, but how if you're living check to check?
Okay. Here's the thing. There's no such thing as check to check. Let me break it down this way. So
he got it honest, Al.
So for me, I believe everything's self-inflicted. You're either responsible or victim. There's no check to check in this country. If you make $500 a week and your expenses are $500 a week, you need to cut some expenses.
Something, yeah.
Here, like for instance, I told somebody this: you could rent a room for $400 a month in Southern California.
Yes, more than that now.
Get rid of that damn car payment. Like, you can go on Craigslist right now. You can buy a car for $700. I know because I did it. Me and my son Chris 2 weeks ago bought a car for $700.
And he's learning how to fix that.
He's learning how to fix it too. The car's worth like $2,000, but it's teaching him hustle and the grind and all that stuff. So you can buy a car, or I told my daughter, buy a car that's $3,000 and make $50 a month, but keep it affordable. Right? Your housing, food. If you're eating out and you're living check to check, you're not living check to check. You're eating out. So you need to cut that. Just go through your bank statements, and I know because you go through. What the hell was that? Or I must have had too much to drink that night. Or
well, what's the big thing, D? Fido can't. No, we can't cut Fido's expense.
Oh,
okay. No. If you have animals and you live in check to check, you need to leave the gate open. I'm sorry. I love dogs, but I ain't gonna be broke living check to check with no animal. I'm sorry. Dog ain't gonna be sitting at home like, see you in your butt. I'm working like Michael Jackson. And that dog, I go, hey neighbor, I got a dog. Matter of fact, I cut a hole in the fence in case he want to see me sometime. But like, he's your responsibility.
Right.
So there's that. Yeah, you shouldn't have animals if you're broke. I'm just saying, right? Yeah. Here's another thing too, speaking of animals, is maybe relationships. You should cut some of those or do them differently. Sometimes some of us can't afford to be in a relationship. Like, if I was going to date, let's say me and my girlfriend didn't work out, I would just, and even with my girlfriend now, and we'll just cook. We have an agreement. And it's like an agreement that I came up with. I was like, you know what? I have my own businesses, so I'll cook most of the time. But that's because we used to go out to eat all the time. We would fight about that stuff. Now I'm like, I'll just make dinner, and we got this, so you can cut your expenses, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and that's good. That's a good date too, by the way. If you want to, I don't know, I wouldn't go to your house on the first date. That's a booty call.
Yeah.
Girl. Come over for some lobster,
Yeah.
right? When lobster tails are like $5 a Stater Brothers, that's 2 lobster tails
Right.
for 2 people, $10.
Yeah.
A bottle of $2 truck, $13. A little salad on the side.
Right.
You can eat for $20, 2 people,
And
have
don't
lobster.
forget the coconut oil.
Yeah.
And the coconut oil's for the third date.
Yes, yes. And you can pick that up at the dollar store.
And you can buy speaking of fractional linen, you can buy fractionated coconut oil this big for a couple bucks.
Go what?
Y'all
Refillable.
wow. O says, what attracts you to the Republican Party? I'm not judging. I don't care for either one.
No,
Which party, in your opinion,
was
do we
waiting
have a
for
better
that.
chance of achieving wealth?
I was waiting for that question. Thank you, O. I decided to be a Republican when I was a kid. No, I was a Democrat for a little while because
You know any better.
my parents had custody. I didn't have any options.
Yeah,
But
right.
as soon as I was old enough to make a better decision, I became a Republican, and here's why. First of all, the Republican Party, our leaders, like the Martin Luther Kings, the Rosas, and all our leaders, Sojourner, and all these people, they were all Republican because, and I know Lincoln freed the slaves because he had to, I get it. But that was the Republican Party. It's a conservative party, and people miss that part. And I know we have a lot of angry white people who don't like black people in the Republican Party, and it appears that one of them is in the White House. I get it. But the word conservative means is to basically slow down, save money, be more conservative. You got out with
More
your panties
responsible.
showing, you're more responsible. They were more of a, just more like family oriented. 1, 2, here's what I like about the Republicans is they get to the money. Like swing low, sweet chariot.
Yes.
Democrats, you need to cut that shit out. You need
Yeah.
to put a V8 in the engine, put some big tires on, and get them moving. Like the Democratic Party is one of the worst things that's ever happened to black people ever,
Absolutely.
because they got the man. In order to get these benefits, you can't have a man around. He's got to go. All these things, and when you start giving people shit, they lose power. So
And ambition.
and ambition. That's why. And don't get it twisted. If I walked into a Republican convention, it would get quiet. I
Yes,
get it.
yeah.
I don't race like people are gonna hate you based on your color, no matter where you are. You don't think like you have the Joe Biden comments. He was being dead serious.
You're dead
he didn't
serious.
care about black people back then.
Sure.
Joe was like, I'm a redneck and I love it.
Exactly.
He didn't think
Lock
like
your
one
black
day we're
ass
gonna
up.
have a black president and I'm gonna need the black vote. He didn't even think that
Exactly.
through.
Exactly.
I mean, and Joe Biden's like everyone else has their own issues, but you know what's not racist is money.
Exactly.
Money don't judge.
See, and that's funny. You know, you've traveled, I've traveled, and I'll tell you, when you're in that 5-star hotel and you're walking through, they don't care if you're black, yellow, red, whatever. It's all about the money. They want to see that credit card or whatever you got.
It's Mr. Coulter. When
Yes.
I pull up to the Ritz-Carlton, here's something I'll do that doesn't cost a lot of money if you want to feel good about yourself. And my kid said this in child support and custody one time.
Yeah.
Well, we go to Ritz-Carlton on the weekends. I was like, shut the hell up. But you can go to the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Beach. You can drive, park, valet for free. You don't have to stay. I'll go in there, me and my kids, and we'll go to the balcony and we'll grab like a couple appetizers and
Right.
we'll share.
And look
we'll
out.
grab a sparkling water or whatever it is. And we'll spend a few bucks and we'll sit there for hours and get the feeling of
The
being
vibe.
rich and doing better. You can do things like that.
I go down to Coronado to deal with at the Republican, all those hotels down there. You just feel
Now
the
y'all giving
vibe.
y'all their travel secrets. And Arthur says, Demetra sounds like me. There's some stuff your brother had been wanting to communicate to black folks for a long time.
Oh, don't get me started. I ain't even got started. I got a book. Okay, I might break the internet right now, but I'm gonna break it.
Okay.
I have a book coming out called Nigger Rich.
There you go.
I know.
I'm
I don't
already
even think I
interested.
told you about it.
I'm already interested.
Because here's the thing, and rappers say nigga rich all the time, and no one makes a move. But like, if you really thinking like Kanye's nigga rich, and Kanye was my boy, I was his financial advisor for 2 years. I helped him build his wealth, his credit, and all that stuff. But like, some of the things we say about ourselves is that we have to really be careful. Like, black people, like Dave Chappelle did the reparations show, and it was hilarious because it was true. Like gold Cadillacs and cigarettes would be like stocks would be through the roof. So we need to like really think about like if you look at the African kings, some of the guys, they had jewelry,
Mhm.
but it wasn't because they were wearing the jewelry to be niggas.
Mm.
They was their wealth.
Mhm.
Like gold and silver is wealth. The
Yep.
dollar used to be in 1971. It stopped being
Based on
backed
that.
by gold.
Yeah. If you look at those dollars, it used to say silver certificate or gold certificate on the federal note.
Absolutely, like the African kings and the pharaohs, they put gold in the tomb because it was wealth. And so now we wear the wealth around our neck, and we don't even understand. Like I was at a Nelly concert. You know, Nelly's cool. I like Nelly. We spent some time together. But he dropped his bracelet at a concert in Orange County and stopped the show, and gave somebody like $1,000 for his necklace. I was like, I'd be a fool to get that necklace or that bracelet. I
Yeah.
wish it was me in the front row, right? But so we have to take responsibility. Black people, we as a people are in. I put a thing on Facebook that says, when you get tired of the effing bottom, call me. We are in the bottom financially, spiritually,
Yes.
physically. Like, how many 80-year-old black men do you know?
Not many.
Not few. I mean, not many. So, but we can change that. We can start taking better care of ourselves. First off, physical illness, like 80% of it is caused by stress. You know what the number one cause of stress is? Money.
Yep.
Or the lack of control over it.
Mhm.
So get the money first, and then from there, a lot of civil rights are dead. Period. We're not getting any more rights. If you're waiting around for rights, you're
Mhm.
a dumbass. Stop protesting. Like, Jews don't protest, Asians don't protest, white people don't protest.
Right.
You know what they do is they just move the money.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson said, "Bite me, kite me, da 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 da," and this shit was off the air in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
There was no protest. They just moved the money.
Move the money.
So get your money straight. Money is everything.
All right. So I'm going to get to these comments. And Nancy says about the better thing, just get your DD214. Al talking about we talking too much. And Nancy says, Van, no loan, something like that. Al says the band is playing the music. Don't write any acceptance speeches to be continued, godly. Let's see. Let's see.
Does anyone have any serious questions?
Right,
Because money is something that
and
derails us as a people. We are
And
the
Manny,
greatest
what's
people
happening says happiness is what you make of. People need to be taught about finances at kids. And then O says, do you consider Trump a Republican or a conservative?
He's a Democrat.
Actually, you know what's funny? Is Trump went with the party that would elect him.
Yes,
Let me tell you,
right.
because Trump was more of a Democrat.
Lifelong Democrat.
And Trump is not conservative at all. But
Mhm.
here's the thing, he's a businessman, and so the Republicans tend to be, you know, white people, a lot of them that are like, oh, we're tired of this, the Mexicans and the blacks and the Egyptians and all these people. And he found a niche of people that were pissed off past the point of festivity. And so he was like, I'm going over there. So I don't really think he's a Republican.
Yeah.
I just think he's a businessman, and he found a niche.
Opportunist.
He's an opportunist.
Mhm.
That's all there is to
Yeah,
it.
and he said a long time ago that if he had to run, he would run as a Republican.
But you know what? One thing, and I'm not the mega hat on. You never see me with that shit on or no stuff like that. I think, you know, and it is what it is. I don't like red, and you know, and I'm trying to get my ass beat. But
Right.
I do think though, like black people could learn from the Republican Party. I know
Yes.
Candace Owens a little out there, and
She's getting the check.
But she's getting the check, and they have this, you know, black people, when they're Republicans, the guy they put out front of some nerdy, like, almost offensive dude towards black people.
Yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
that. I think Candace Owens is close to getting it right, but, like, we can learn a lot. Like, money is king. Like, white people, Mexicans, or whatever it is, we're not going to treat each other fair. We have our own issues.
Mhm.
Get the money. So, the reason I don't want to say, I don't really like Trump at all. I think the dude's a goofball. I think he's an entertainer, right? But I think you could learn a lot from the way he moves. Like, he gave us that tax cut, and then we all got a tax cut. If you are paying taxes, you got a tax cut.
Right.
If you're getting earned income credit and you haven't paid tax, but you get $4,000 back, which
And you happy
is
about it.
nuts to me.
Mhm.
How do you get money back that you haven't put in?
Mhm.
That makes zero sense to me. If you're one of those cats, know you didn't get a tax break, and that's your fault, right? Like, those are for people that are making money and paying tax. You gotta, if you make $70,000 in America, you got a tax cut in a big one. We all got tax breaks if you make money. So
All right.
that's why I like Republicans. And let me end with this Democrat thing, the Republican. And I used to be Democrat, and some of the Democrats are cool. You know, there's some nutty Republicans, blah, blah, blah. But what I don't like about the Democrats is every time they get on TV, we need this. We need Medicare for all. We need all
Yeah,
these
you
things.
can't do it for everybody.
Somebody's got to pay for that
That's
shit.
Mhm.
And we don't have the money. The U.S., you understand, borrows money on top of borrowed money. When they run out of money, they borrow money against the borrowed money. There's no money left. Social Security is almost out of money. We're done getting benefits and stuff for free. You have to work for it or go somewhere else. Go to Mexico and try and get Medicare for all. Go to Egypt and try and they're gonna be like, what's that? Like, America's the only place you can go, one of them, where
And
you
not
can
put
get,
into it.
not put into it and get money back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which
No,
is why
I'm
they're
just
all
like-
coming here. In like Canada and Europe, their taxes are through the sky. Yeah, they get free Medicare, they get free college, but what they don't tell you about Europeans is their tax rates are through the
Yeah,
roof.
like 30, 60, it's up there, 30 something, 40%.
I was at a craps table in Vegas. I don't really gamble, but this was years ago. And the dude, I was like, "Oh, my taxes in Cali are high," and he goes, "I'll slap the shit out of you," in his European voice. He goes, "My taxes, I make 45 grand. My tax rate is 50%."
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel good about my tax rate."
And I'm gonna get to these last comments. Manny says the celebrity rappers, actors are accountable for what's going on in the black community. Absolutely. Al is crazy. And then Manny also says Democrats were the first enslavers. And O says, so do you vote straight Republican or do you vote your interest like white folks do?
I voted.
my
I
interest.
vote my interest. I voted for Barack Obama twice. So on my Facebook page it says I'm a Barackan, right? So I like what the stuff Barack was talking about, and because he was more of like a negotiator. You know,
They
like
wanna
the
work with
president
him.
has to be able to negotiate,
Right.
and regardless of what Obama's agenda was, he like I got the impression that he can negotiate, and like when he won, the whole world celebrated. My sister being one of them, the whole street was screaming like they had won the lottery. So I vote with my interest, and like when I looked at who's the Democrat that ran, Hillary Clinton. Oh hell no.
Yeah, no.
The
Yeah.
Clintons have done more to damage black people than on like the 3 strikes and all that
Yeah,
stuff. He
yeah.
was not the first black president. Bill Clinton is a good dude, but he's got his interests. They're taking care of themselves.
Awesome. And then Manny says we should wake up and learn from each other. He also says iron sharpens iron. Absolutely. And Arthur says yes, indeed. We can be scared to say Trump makes good moves. We must be able to see it. In other words, sometimes we have to quit thinking emotionally and see what we can get out of any situation. Hey, Richard says, good show. Your brother is a hustler. You better believe it. We got hustle bones in our body.
I'm trying to. And you know who I didn't see that I was hoping would comment is Loria Ogans.
She
was
was
on
on the
earlier.
other one, but we got kicked
Oh, okay.
off.
So yeah, Lori, I'm gonna send
Yeah.
a comment out to you because he always talking about like the Democratic comments, and Lori's a friend of mine. Matter of fact, I represent some of her family. They're on my membership, cornucopa.com. But you have to get to the point where you're responsible for your actions. If there's 24 hours in a day, you only need 6 to 8 hours sleep. That means you have, what is that, 14 hours,
Yeah,
16
14.
hours, whatever it is, to do other stuff. So go out and get your money, get with each other. You guys can work things out. And then what I was saying about relationships, if you're in one and you're struggling, let it go.
Thank
Or
you.
get with somebody that can participate. Like when I pick a chick, like my girl got her shit straight.
Jonathan
Boy's
is
a
witness.
genius.
If I'm out to dinner and every time we go out, I'm reaching for a check, it's a wrap.
That's it.
Dude,
Preach,
I am
brother,
not-
preach.
I am,
Jonathan believes in that philosophy. Let
Yes.
it go.
and women, do yourself a favor. Like when
Man.
you go out, you just got ID. That's your fault. Like, can a dude that's just gonna take care of you on the first date and take care of everything all the time? He got 6 of you.
Yeah,
Period.
Exactly.
I know mine's better not have no 6. No, I'm just playing. And then so Manny says, how are we borrowing money when American dollar is made from paper? And you know what we're going to do is have Walter on again because we can go on forever. Walter is has a plethora of information about a lot of things. And also he says Barack didn't do nothing. We'll also take that up another time. He said all he did was bail out Bill Clinton dollar card companies. He also said we have to buy up land and nothing else matters. I believe in that. Buy land. And Arthur says, Demetri K,
hard
please
assets.
keep us in the loop and let us know when your brother book comes out. I sure will because he won't let me let y'all forget.
I got several books. Nigga Rich, As the Money Talks, Mental Toughness, School is for Dummies. Oh, you gonna like that one. Let me address the Barack Obama thing because I hear a lot of people say Barack Obama didn't do anything for black people, and that's not true. Here's what Barack Obama did for black people. He got his ass into Harvard. right? His father's African. He's not the type of, this name clearly says he wasn't running for president.
Mhm.
Well, here's what Barack Obama did.
You're welcome, O.
Barack Obama did is he went to Harvard. He whatever it was, he set an example. Barack Obama he was the first black president. Like, that's telling black kids all over the world, yes, we can do it.
Mhm.
So Barack Obama is president. He doesn't have that kind of power. It's like, oh, I'm gonna come out and help black people. First of all, he wouldn't be president if he came out and said that, right? What Barack Obama did is set an example of black excellence. I like Barack Obama because when he comes out, he's suited. He's well-spoken. He's put together. He's a classy dude. I don't know, you black people that hate on Barack Obama, you need to cut that shit out. I'm a Republican.
You talking to me? No.
I'm a Republican, but I will go to bat for Barack Obama. His policies are another thing, but he sets an example of a black dude that is sharp and articulate, and he makes black. If he wasn't president, if he was just a bank president, or Barack Obama was working at the bank, and you talked to him and saw him, you would be proud to be an African American. And that's what he did for black people, is he gave us an example of what you could get done. And that's all he needed to do, period.
Last question for you. What's the most money that can be put in the bank in one day?
You can put all the money you want in the bank, but banks are like this. You put money in the bank for cash reserves, money that I need for a month or two, and then that's tier number one. And then tier two is money that can make a little money, but like you could get to, like, for instance, I keep money in the bank for money that I need to spend right away. Then I put money in hard assets, right? Like if I'm buying something from another country and selling it. Right now I'm putting a lot of my money in cars. First of all, everybody needs a car. And I have 4 or 5 cars sitting in my neighborhood. And then I just go, you know what? If I really need money, I can sell that. And I can give it away. I can lose a little money on it if I need the money.
But you can get the cash.
I can get the cash. The car I'm driving right now, I ain't going to have it on Wednesday. I turned my phone off because I got it on offer up. It was blowing up, right? So that's what I would do. Keep just enough money in the bank just to support you for emergencies, and then you tear your money out. Because otherwise the bank's going to put that money in the bank, and they're going to loan it out to your neighbor. You put money in the bank at 1%, and they'll loan it to your kid for 12. Why don't you just loan it to your kid for 8 and cut the middleman out?
All right. So in closing, go ahead and tell people how they can reach you and all of that.
So
I have also the actually Marcus had put the website out and I pinned it, so you guys can go there.
Yeah. So it's www.cornucopa.com. Not Coca-Cola, not Walter Coulter, but Cornucopa. Cornacopa, like Copa, like world. You know, I wanted it to be something that give people all over the world a good feeling. What we do at Cornucopa is we do life enhancement. So we help people with finance, mental toughness, physical toughness, nutrition. We help them with relationship advice. And what we do is we show people how to protect themselves. And here's what I mean by that. And I'll close. First thing I did when I started making, got money, when I understood what I was doing, is I got life insurance, number 1. 2, I got disability, long-term care, critical illness and injury, because those are some of the things that take us out first, right? Then I started saving money. So I started doing those things. Then I cut my expenses. Then I cut my debts. Now I still have credit cards, but I just use them and I pay them off. I started doing those things, and then what I started doing is I tell everybody what my intentions are. Let's do this. Let's make a move. Let's do this. Let's do it together. If you tell enough people, most of them will laugh, but sooner or later somebody will get out with you. So that those are some of the things I do. I don't think people care enough about retirement or about saving money. What I think they care more about is lifestyle. So what we do at Cornucopa is we help people live better on the money that they currently make.
All
Do you
right.
see what I'm saying?
All right, you guys. So anyway, thank you. We've been here long. Donovan's over there thinking about his chicken.
No.
that he wants to eat.
Yeah, don't eat fried chicken either. That's a black people killer.
Unless you're working out
That
like
was,
right.
yeah, that was
So
created by Colonel
anyway, I
Sanders.
thank you guys for being here. And sorry for the technical difficulties. Next week, well, I say this every week, but I swear for God, we're going to have this worked out. If you guys like to see Walter on every once in a while, he's a very busy dude if he's ever in the country. We'll have him on here and giving advice, because this is the kind of stuff we need to know, especially in our community, is how to make and save money and how to invest it so that we can come from the bottom of the totem pole and learn how to practice group economics and all of that. And so, sorry I didn't get to the rest of you guys' comments. I thank you so much. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns you want me or Donovan to address, please hit us both up. Again, you can find Walter at the pinned website there, and you can find him on Facebook at Walter Coulter Adam. Inbox him, whatever the case is. You guys do what you do. Also, thank you so much, Marcus Guyton, for everything that you do. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.